Okay.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because
damn
here in
sexy
this
bastard.
land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look.
They look in our
The
bank
sloping
accounts.
hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David,
Killing our people.
they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid.
Imagine it went from
Is
Jimmy
so
Carter to
formidable
this guy.
as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people.
You say pizza?
We will negotiate for it,
Was the highest?
sacrifice for it.
I think he said
We will not
pizza was the
surrender
highest.
for it now or
I would
ever.
agree with pizza.
We are Americans.
Love pizza.
Yeah, we are Americans. Oh man. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the news on the flip side. Oh wait, where am I at? Okay, I'm back. Wait, okay, there I am. All right, I'm back. Welcome everyone to News on the Flip Side. That was Mr. Ronald Reagan was up there speaking for us. We like to get our rest of our audience riled up and ready to go. Jimmy, this station represents. That's Michelle. Be sure. I think 7 countries.
You know, Ronald Reagan thought the Earth was flat. You know that, right?
Ronald Reagan did not, my friend. He was big in it. Let's put some Star Wars up there and blow some shit up. That's what he was in.
Flat like
he was counting on it was round. Yeah, no, he was counting on it was around him. But we've had some weird presidents when you go back. I mean,
howdy, Lisa.
We had Nixon who got his butt kicked out because he got caught with his zipper in the door. But regardless, he organized the first space meeting in space with us and Russia. He brought China out of the darkness and into the light. I mean, he did quite a lot. He just got caught. He can't. The problem is when you're president, people, you can't get caught. That's part of the game. Trump just don't give a shit. I mean, he's just like, yeah, bite me on the ass. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah, he's more like, yeah, sue me. Like he's just kind of
right now. He's suing everybody and winning. I mean, he's
going forward.
So if you caught his speech when he was in Alabama a week ago, So they got $8 trillion in deals there altogether. Plus this $2 trillion, it's $10 trillion. And then we start talking about what Elon Musk found and what was lost and all. We're going to start seeing numbers in the 18 trillion range.
I
Just
sent
half of
Trump
our
a
deficit.
message simply saying it's not deportation if we own the prison in Nicaragua. You know what I mean? Like if we own the prison down there, it's still American ground, and then we can put our prisoners there. See that? Problem solved. All these judges, they don't know what they're doing. But it's a mess, man. The whole thing's a mess. But you know what? The tariffs are working, and this guy's got trillions of bucks coming into this country.
You've seen all the new reports, which we'll show some of them later. But oh man, inflation is down, product is down.
It's only May, and Trump has these accomplishments, and I don't even like him, so I resent even saying nice things about him. But you know what? He's doing the job he was hired to do. Put it that way.
Yeah. Well, the media. I mean, I've seen some decent media. Matter of fact, I always watch the media for 2 days before this show, and I'm watching today. NBC, ABC's giving him credit. The economy's getting better. Inflation's down. Food prices are down. Fuel prices down. Get this shit. This is kind of bothering me now. Diesel looks like it's going to pass up gasoline. So our gas price right now is about $2.41 a gallon.
It's already cheaper than gas here.
Diesel is $2.69 here. You got to go all the way back to like the early the late 80s to see diesel cheaper than gas. Back when you could buy diesel for nothing.
Well, but part of the problem is not diesel. The problem is that they're pushing that ethanol shit. That's 10 to 15% ethanol, and it has to go through an additional process, so it costs more and it takes longer for them to make it. If Trump were smart, he would make them take the ethanol out of there, because all it is doing is ruining our engines.
It's bad for your valves, bad for your valves, bad for your rings.
Yeah,
overall, it's bad. You know what? You don't put corn squeezins in your car. You just don't. You just don't.
No, and from having worked in the garden center at a let's just say big box home improvement store, I learned that if you even let that stuff sit, an ethanol gas, and if you let it sit in, say, your lawnmower for 30 days, it's going to the corn in the ethanol is going to draw water into the gas tank, and then you're going to come out, oh, my lawn needs cutting, and you pull that ripcord, and that water gets into that 2-stroke engine, boom, it's done. You are out $400. So you have to buy these additives, fuel thinners that destroy the ethanol corn.
Well, down here they're funny about ethanol gasoline, so I don't have to worry about it. Only half the stations will even sell it.
The gas stations up here for $5 a gallon, whereas the ethanol putrid poisonous shit is $3.25. So what are you going to do if you have $5 on your person? What are you going to do? You're going to buy the $3 and get
what's maximum limit up there? 10%. I mean, what's max limit? 10%? Is that what it is? 10%?
And it can be up to 85%, but the car has to have that specifically, and it has to be labeled on the tank. So, but the stuff that you're getting in your car is maximum up to 10%. Yes.
Yeah. So, it's Lisa, Kurt. How's everybody doing? Frank, so Trump's got this whirlwind trip going on. He's over there helping Syria out. Everybody's just flipped out about that completely. The Democrats want to be mad, but they can't because he's doing what they wanted them to do. So it's like, wait a minute. We got to talk about him, but we can't. So I was talking to a good friend of mine earlier today. He's a Democrat, pretty big Democrat. And he said, Joe, what do you think's the real problem? I said, you have no message. Hey, Roseanne, none whatsoever. Said, your message is let's hate Trump. You've been doing that for 8 years. It just doesn't work. I said, you need a message. You need to get people to think you're worth something other than let's hate Trump. I said, the rest of the country has moved past let's hate Trump. Even the world's moved past. Most of the world's moved past let's hate Trump, except for George, what's his name? I mean, the FBI guy, but he's still a little upset. But other than that,
he's being investigated.
Comey's being investigated
for the shell game.
Yes. But he's being investigated because he was dating some girl named Carrie Lynn. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but we're not going to say nothing because we don't want 3 million people to find out she's dating the FBI.
Gotta watch out for those Carrie Lynn's.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're evil.
Yes, definitely.
It's Jeffrey. No, we got. It's hard to say because when you watch this whirlwind trip to the Middle East, and it's kind of like shit. He just jumps around. He's all over the place. Everybody's kissing his ass. I mean, American flags. Come on, they're playing a Star Spangled Banner. Give me a fucking break in the Middle East, no less. I'm like
They
three
lit up
different
one of their
countries.
biggest buildings in colors of our flag.
I was rolling them off the side of them.
Did you see the parade they had where the women didn't have their garb on and they were doing the hair dance there?
Oh, the hair dance was just weirds me out. It always makes me think it's somebody's possessed or something. It's a poltergeist. No, it's a possession. Oh,
What is it?
man.
Was it like Cousin It's Fantasyland or something?
You know what? I find it very impressive that their Air Force escorted him in.
Well,
That was impressive.
Hey, Sean, do you know where they got their Air Force from?
Us.
Yeah, there you go.
All
You
right.
can turn it off at any moment.
I don't know. Them look like MiGs. Quattro was fine, man.
Hey, Donna.
Yeah, I think that might have been MiGs flying. Oh, and I see. I didn't like today. I was out cruising. No, yesterday I was out cruising around, and I look up, and I see two F-35s coming in for a landing. See, when you start seeing jets flying around, you see helicopters. They fly over my house all the time. All kind of planes fly around here. But when you start seeing fighters coming in, once you start seeing them daily, that means we're planning on doing something. They start running games in and out the Gulf, in and out the swamp, in and out the woods, in and out the mountains, because that's all right here in this area. And you just start seeing them all the time. And they are intensely noisy. I forgot it's been since I've been on camera.
What certain people I know are saying is that they're waiting for this trip to be over so they could go in and whip ass like Israel's been waiting, and it's going to be one complete move. You know what I mean? So they're all with it together. I mean, Saudi Arabia and all that, they agree on it, and we'll see what happens, man. But then you get the Putin factor, who is not
factor. What?
He's not cooperating, and I don't know why anybody thought he would. He's not attending these meetings. He's not with the ceasefire.
Because if Trump's not there, he's not. Okay, let's just be fucking blunt about this. Close your ears, Karen. You don't hear this language. Why in the fuck would this guy go meet? The little guy dances around. No, man, come on. This is Vladimir Putin. He's not going to go meet the guy who was dressed like a girl dancing around to represent. He's just not going to do it. It's not who he is. He's going to be like, no.
I wouldn't do it either, would you? I mean,
I wouldn't either.
You have respect. I mean, for yourself. And this guy is nobody.
And Zelensky can't get him. He can't get him any of those sanctions taken off. Only Trump can do that, and only Trump can get European sanctions lifted. So he has to do with Trump. Now he's done pissed Trump off, so he screwed himself. If he'd just went in the beginning and said, "Look, Trump, we're going to keep Crimea and we're going to keep this and we'll give the rest back," bam, 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 or we're going to keep these, but we'll play rent on them. Any of that would have worked. But no. He thought he was going to just push his way around. Now he's going to piss Trump off. Not just that he made Trump lose face, and now Trump's not going to be able to leave it alone. He's going to be like, okay, is this the way you want to play this game? That's fine. You're going to give all the territory back, and if you do, we'll lift these sanctions. If you don't, we're going to add these sanctions, plus we're going to start boycotting everything you do, and maybe even start running interference with your freighting going around.
Meanwhile, Poland is gearing up to go to war. Poland's gearing up to go to war. So, I mean, so is Germany.
I love Trump.
They're in that realm of thinking. It doesn't take much to push the envelope to that World War status, man. I think that the players are all in place, and I think that it could easily happen. But Trump, you piss him off, he's going to give this guy Zelensky some big ass bombs. He's going to give him some real shit, and then it'll just go up to another level. But unless Putin's just playing the game, you know what I mean. And I mean, Putin wants to save Russia, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's a fucking diseased brain fucker. You know what I mean? And he's not really thinking or doesn't care about anybody. He just wants to kind of go boom.
Little Miss Piggy.
Yeah, you can't be offended at cursing on the show. I'm also about to say Tootsie Roll Dick, because we're going to talk about Sean Puppy Combs.
We're talking about Sean
and his trial.
There's a lot of movement in that realm. Jeez.
Yeah, that's been fun. Now look how many Carrie Lynn blush, man.
You're not going to eat Tootsie Rolls ever again.
Yeah, Carolyn.
Oh, look, I come help her out.
I didn't know if you guys were live. It didn't show it on StreamYard, so I was fooling around. Finally, I just said I'm going to pop in here.
StreamYard's weird. Don't ask me.
It's all been acting wonky this week anyway, so it's no surprising.
Well, that's for sure.
I'm glad Rumble's working right
They're
again.
on to us, man.
I'm just glad Uncle Rumble's working good. So back to Uncle
I
Trumpy.
hacked it to get it to work Thursday night.
Huh?
I hacked it to get it to work Thursday night.
Nice.
Yeah, I went in and found the stream key and everything else and entered it that way, and it worked. Or actually, Monday night I did it that way. Yeah.
Well, yeah. See, it only wants you to work the other stream key right now for some reason. It used to give you the long one. You could put it in. It leaves it in there forever. This one will stay in there, but it's not quite the same because it doesn't show.
Darren, you better behave yourself, or I'm going to send my Bigfoot in the closet after you.
Spell books and pentacles. I don't have.
Mm-mm.
I think he meant tentacles.
So
I may have-
before we get into a bunch of other stuff tonight, so these two down here on the bottom, middle, and left, these two young ladies, we're gonna say. So I was watching them. I was sneaky watching them the other night.
We saw you.
No, I was also watching you on YouTube. But anyway, I'm thinking. So y'all gotta go check out this show. It's a Thursday night. It's I seen their new stats from yesterday. They were good too. What were they actually? They were
801.
802,000.
Shit, where you been, Joe? I missed the last two, but I was on to the first two.
Awesome, girls. Awesome.
801, and it was a big bounce back because after they had to put the
foot to bed.
Yeah, they had to rinse out clean out the garbage can and stuff to get the next show ready and stuff. You know how it kind of goes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a nice bounce back, and actually that should actually see somebody else's show. So that means Carrie Lynn's got two different ways we should see numbers increasing on our show on Friday. I'm sorry, guys, I'm talking business without thinking about it. Anyway,
I have another show.
do you have another show? No, do you?
I do on Monday night.
Oh, you're lying, Tim. You're just playing numbers.
You have to check out Carrie Lynn's reel that she did for the show yesterday. It was, and then we got EVPs. We got
wow.
3 EVPs.
It was
Really?
weird. Yeah, it was.
It is
super
weird how
but
EVPs just show up. It is just
I
kind of
manifested
weird.
it though.
She did. She said
Without a
at the beginning
spell
of the
book even.
show. Yeah, you said at the beginning of the show, maybe the spirits will.
Are witches allowed on this show? I don't know. We're gonna have to
I don't
discuss
know.
this. We don't know if witches are allowed here or not. This might not be a witch safe zone, man.
If you all didn't
might be
watch Church of Mavis tonight, we had at the end our guest left early, so we had nothing to talk about. But tarot came up. Actually, it was terror, but I heard tarot because I'm dyslexic as hell. But Inner Traditions, I believe, sent us this.
I got one for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
fun.
this has like the classic characters like Vampirella, Elvira. It's got Scooby Doo gang.
Oh,
the
fun.
classic MGM monsters. The
Oh
creature.
my God.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna have to start drinking.
Don't
that.
you ever leave that on your desk right up when I'm around because it'll disappear.
I think we're lifting the ban on alcohol on this show. I can
I
see it coming.
thought Jay would notice this is what mainly for Jay. It's Star
This
Trek.
is not alcohol,
Jesus.
but
You see that, Jay? Star Trek. This is Star Trek.
no, did you hear me? I said,
No, Sean said he wants $5 for every time someone mentions the fucking word Star Trek on the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot you don't like
You
Star
better
Trek.
copyright the
Sean.
name then, because that's a little hard to do.
He said he wants
I got
$5.
my notebook here with your name on it, and so
Star
far
people
today,
start. Oh, you
you're
know
at
that guy
about
with Captain Kirk on it.
$1,000.
That's how we'll have to talk about
I
it from
haven't
now
said it
on.
once yet, just for
I
the
did.
record. I haven't said it once yet.
Um,
for the
I'm
record.
writing Lori down for 5.
Yeah, I'm in
But see-
trouble.
Oh
So when I
man,
get
put it in
this
the cookie
straight, Joe,
jar.
this is kind of like your idea of the swear jar, only it's for the.
Star
Star
Trek.
Trek. That's
You both owe
$10.
$5.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, we even
That was dirty, Jay. That was dirty. Man.
Carrie Lynn and I have started wearing outfits now
See
to
what
match our
happens.
team, right, Carrie Lynn?
Oh,
Carrie Lynn
man.
was committed. She used
Anyway.
real dirt. We were talking about
Yeah.
mining. She used real dirt
Oh,
on her
goodness.
face.
It was committed.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
committed. Mhm.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Christopher,
how we got the
we're
EVPs.
going to get back to talking to Trump. in a
The
minute.
only-
We're just really weird on the show sometimes.
The only tarot deck I
Uh,
have is a serial killer deck.
I got a couple
Brand,
times,
is it
but
Post or the other one? That was a cereal joke.
they're not-
Close to
I
the brand
can't.
of cereal.
Yes,
Breakfast.
he's see what we got to put up with.
Wrong.
How you
Uh,
coming up
Wrong.
with these dad jokes? Jay, come on now.
You just
Dad
gotta
It's a book, man. He's got a book. Yeah, he's got a bad book that says bad jokes
Oh,
in it.
hey, Carrie Lynn, did you hear? I heard that the Pope smells terrific.
Oh no!
Oh,
See,
God.
Smells like, yeah, he smells like
Randy comes
potpourri.
with- Hey man, that's offensive to
Hey,
the
Joe, I
princess.
got one for you.
Don't worry,
I
I
have
have
no-
my seat. I have my seat reserved in the wherever I'm
Okay,
going.
then how about this deck?
Oh my God, really?
What is it?
I didn't even know that was a
Dude.
thing.
My
Yeah.
kid told me about it. RuPaul's Drag Race tarot deck.
Oh my God! Boom! Let me bang my head for a minute. Okay.
I can't speak for his show, but if you have
Yeah, you see, we're talking. The
funny.
fucking Blackbeard done got Michael, drug him out the damn door, and now the raccoons are feeding on him.
That's why I told Carrie Lynn about the animal cam. They're gonna have a check-in with Michael.
He was talking about 3 raccoons a little while ago. Unless they drug him out of his house.
One
and
out there
eaten
right
his-
now.
Oh, there he goes. I thought they might have got him by the toes or something. You never know.
Hey, Joe, I know my electrician friend, right? He's having a lot of problems with his son, right? So he's grounding him.
Oh God, these jokes are too.
I like that one.
hate this. Oh man, Jimmy, just where's Martha when you need the bitch? Oh my God, you're lucky Martha's not around here. It's too much.
See, I can personalize that joke, Sean. I know guys that is an electrician and that's friends with my other friends at work, so I can use his name and say, "Hey, so and so, he's an electrician. Remember, he's having problems with his son, so he's going to ground him, and he'll get it." That's awesome. Thank you for that. That's fuel.
Oh, you are welcome.
I don't know what any of these people are on. This one's on crack. That one's on fentanyl. That one's on God knows. We don't even know what it's called anymore.
Straight sativa.
I
with
think
no-
I
well,
think-
okay. There's a little bit of nicotine too. Sorry,
Oh, nicotine's so bad. Boy. Bad
Oh.
nicotine. Bad,
I
bad.
forgot. There's caffeine.
Thank you,
There's
Roseanne.
3 ounces of caffeine on board.
Gaia said smoking is banned on the fucking planet. That's what she said. She said, "Go back to fucking Mars
You
if you
tell
want
her
to
to
smoke."
shut down the volcanoes, and then we'll shut
No,
down.
she said, "Take your ass back to fucking Mars where you belong."
Hey,
if you're
this
gonna
is a
smoke.
compromise situation. She's smoking too.
Did you see what I sent you,
She's
Joe?
a
I think I
camera.
sent it to Jay too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
It's Epstein's Island's place that
Oh.
someone never filmed at all.
We
Okay,
gotta-
so Keith released it.
Well, Jay's been there.
No, I have not.
He's been there. He just don't like to talk about it. Where do you think you get fucking pregnant at?
That was an alien. That was an alien
Yes.
probe, and that
And Epstein-
situation has resolved itself. Okay,
Oh, that's pretty
Has-
cute.
That's pretty
resolved
cute.
itself. Yeah, but it's also spawned. So
Anyway.
it split off the other day and became these.
Oh
Aw.
my God. Oh.
Yes, back to the news, people. Save that shit for tomorrow night. It's yes, they're Christopher. They're warped. What can I tell you, man? They're just-
They're Thai beanie babies, really.
Joe only has the best hosts.
they're warped. Michelle and I talked about this one day, it was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. We said, if they're not a little insane, there's no reason to bring them in this network. So it's just the hosts are listening tonight. I thought I'd tell you all
Well,
that.
the reason is for everyone else's safety. If we bring you in and you are sane within the first 2 or 3 episodes of any show you do, you will not be sane. So-
Well, Michael got brought on by Stephanie, and she was definitely insane.
well,
Oh,
I
don't
heard
start on
he was brought on
Stephanie
kicking and
after all those
screaming.
stories.
She's my favorite.
Right, Michael, kicking and screaming. They brought you onto this network, yeah.
She
Stephanie
Oh,
was
Michael's
awesome,
got
man. I have to
Stephanie
say.
stories for days.
She was crazy, but she was awesome.
Yeah, she was. She was
was
really good
very
at what she
nice.
did. She was. And besides, I took the brunt of the screaming anyway. It was like, Christopher Stephanie Bonetti, yes. She was a
Yeah.
station manager for about 4 years. She was
I
really good at
I
what she
was
did.
lucky. I had a double buffer zone. I
Mhm.
had most of her wrath went on you, and then what the leftover went on to Jeff. So, because Jeff was, the main host of our
Yeah.
show, and I never got any of that back. She was always never but nice to me.
Yeah. Well, because she figured you're not the problem. Jeffrey is.
Oh yeah.
No. Today
know
is Michelle DeRoche is the manager. And I've been for a couple of years now. Yeah, this is her bunch. Yeah, she's responsible.
She's good at what she does. I have
Well, no, some of these hosts I brought on, but still, she's responsible for this mess. I tell her all the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad. I bet you she's relaxing
You
this
were saying
weekend.
it was a mess 2 minutes ago when you were reading our numbers.
Yeah, well, no, because that's my end of the job. That's not her end. I take care of that side. It's yeah, there she is. There you go, Stephanie Benetti.
Was that Stephanie?
That's
I never
Stephanie.
seen a picture of her.
Yeah, that was Stephanie.
Oh, she's a
Yes.
nice looking lady.
She was just trouble, is what she was, man.
I heard stories about Stephanie for years. Yeah.
But she was a good friend, and her mom and I still talk. She's no, Jesse. She passed about a year ago. Yeah, yes, because she was mean as hell. That's why she said, "Shit, this place. I'm out of here. I had enough of this shit." I'm serious.
From Staten
She said,
Island.
she said, "I had enough of this
All
crap.
women from
I'm outta
Staten
here."
Island are mean like that. All of them, man. You ain't gonna
Um,
find some nice people from Staten Island. No
But
offense, Staten Island, but they know that. They know that.
Yeah.
she was gifted in a lot of ways and she was a great co-host.
Great,
Yeah,
great
matter of fact,
show.
her and I founded this show.
Took care
If
of her
you,
parents. I mean, loved animals. She was a great person. You know what I mean? She really was, man. I miss her.
listen, if you ever go listen, because her and I founded the show, it's a much different show today than it was when the two of us hosted it. But it was intended for something else.
She was great
But,
on there, man.
She was good. She was great. She until she started drinking on air, she was fabulous. She was a really good host. We had a lot of fun, and we talked a lot of politicians and did a lot of polls over the years. Anyway, enough about all of that. Getting back to actually the real news and the things that people actually care about that are actually listening to this show. And don't forget, you can see the lovely Laura Lee and Carolyn on Thursdays, and
Yep,
you can see the Angel on Angel Rock on Monday.
Monday.
And yes, Monday. Yeah, we call her Angel when she's on Monday. Just deal with it, people.
I don't want to know.
Your show, and you'll know why we do that. And and it's like when I send numbers to Michelle, that's how they get them. Like it'll either be your first part of your name or the first part of your show name. That's how she gets it. She gets the day, and then boop boop boop, and a bunch of numbers. And then a bunch of numbers. It's no, actually. Oh no, who wants to know? Look, I'll show y'all this because there's nothing here that.
And Carolyn has Spirit Switchboard on Fridays.
Yeah, she's got an excellent show. Actually, it's been one of my favorites.
He does.
Her and CL actually been real nice additions. I really have been really thrilled with their shows and at the rate they're going. Anyway, did I say that out loud? Shit, I didn't mean to. But anyway, so people, just so you know, I do this old school still. That's actually Thursday night stats right there. I'm deliberately keeping that far away, but that's yes, old school. And we have to do it on a calculator. I know that's some stuff. But anyway, that's how we do it.
You just gotta hit up your boyfriend's AI. He'll do all
Really?
those.
How did you get a calculator? I got this stupid abacus over here.
I don't like things online like that, but and I did see Sean's show with Michelle on Thursday was 2861503.
Wow.
2.8 million. There you go.
Wow.
Not bad, man. Not bad for a rookie. That's pretty good, man. It's everybody sent Amelia healing energy so I can put her ass back to fucking work. I mean, Jesus, she's been on vacation too long. Amelia healing energy. And if you don't know who Amelia is, ladies and gentlemen, she is Michelle's co-host. So heal Amelia now. Yes. Yes, I'm a slave.
You usually show up.
Well, I always try to get her to come on here on the chat because she knows a lot about this stuff. And being a Canuck herself, she likes to talk about current situations. And,
What is he? A what?
She's a
Canuck.
Canadian.
A Canadian.
She's a Canadian.
Like the two in the corners here.
Yeah.
Two ladies.
I always tell Michelle I feel like the invasion of Canada is taking over sometimes. She's like, so we got like 7 Canadian hosts? Like, Jesus. And we got a group out of DC wants to come on.
We have 3 hosts named Sean. It's the network of Sean.
Things get weird. Things get weird sometimes. Anyway, no, they all have different topics. Well, you mean on Thursday nights? You got to ask them what they talk about on Thursday nights. They talk about whatever they feel like talking about.
What? Our show on Thursday nights?
Yes, they're like they give you and then start talking. So
well, how do we want to describe it, Carolyn? It's kind of like spooky camp campfire stories, but you go ahead. I know you were going to say something.
Oh no, I wasn't going to say anything.
So we put the topic,
Woman speak.
like we're doing banshees
Hello, Heidi.
We're
and
doing banshees next week.
and omens of death, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Death omens.
So
yeah.
last week was creatures of mines and things like that. So we looked like miners, and of course we had to bring in the Zoolander reference, and that was from Carrie Lynn. And then we've done time travel. We didn't get to the Mandela effect because time travel took up the 2
Thank you,
hours.
Kurt.
So are y'all having fun?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because what we do is we make it dark, like at a campfire, and then we sort of just evolved into we dress like we haven't figured out what we're doing for banshees next week. So when people tune in every week,
White
we give
sheets.
them a surprise.
Get some white sheets.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
White sheets.
No white sheets. Y'all get fired. Don't get white
Joe,
sheets.
have you heard of a creature called the caterwaul?
I've heard of it.
I think it's very similar to the banshee, except for like a banshee's like an evil witch or a dead witch or an undead witch.
You do know that the station manager, Banshee. Y'all better stop talking about her. She's gonna get hot.
There's also the caterwaul, which allegedly, if you hear the caterwaul
Oh,
scream,
don't call it caterwaul, Jay.
you
She
will
might get
someone
offended about
desperate
that.
at some point.
She might get if you call her that, she might get offended. I'm just saying.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. She's
they wanna
touchy.
They can look at it. It's just a neat creature that for both.
I hired her because I knew she was a witch the day. Plus, she's the Canadian Elvira, which is double good. What she is?
I've heard her
Look
called
at her.
that before.
Yeah, look at her.
I've
She is a
heard her be
Canadian.
called that
I've been
before,
calling her
for
that
sure.
since I met her. So
Yeah.
very first time we ever talked. I was actually on her show in when they were in Niagara Falls on the FM station. I said, yeah, man, you look a lot like Elvira. I guess you're the Canadian Elvira. She just kind of paused for a minute, like this asshole. It's
That's
no,
fine.
Jimmy. She is very polite until you piss her off. But I mean, meanwhile, she's very polite. No, she does a great job. We're not going to tell her. She does, but she does a fabulous job. It's funny because sometimes hosts give her shit about certain rules, and every now and then I'll just have to write to a host that says it's not her rule, it's my rule. She just enforces it. And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yes." Some of the new rules are hers though too, so it's kind of a combination these days. But anyway, enough about all of that. I want to talk about what Trump's doing with $2 trillion. What kind of money, and what's he doing with his airplane? Somebody's going to park it up in Canada.
So the plane itself is a 747-800 series, and I think the prince, whoever it was that bought it, for $400.8 million. I'll say that again. That's kind of a big number. $400.8 million just for the plane.
Yeah,
And they
the
want
golden toilet on it.
to an Air
Yeah, the gold
Air
toilet.
Force One, which is going to cost another $5.3 billion on us.
So first question is, should we take these people at their, and say, okay, look, we gave them this. There's not going to be any spy equipment in it. Y'all remember what happened when Russia was going to help us build the embassy? they had to tear the fucking thing
if
down.
They turn it into an Air Force One, they're going to gut that thing for $5 billion. They're going to take everything out of that, including the engines, and refit it with everything that thing doesn't have.
Well, no,
Trust me.
It's got some badass engines in it right now, but it's those 800s are nice.
There's better.
Yeah,
Aren't
they
gonna get whoever buys it is going to get a major hassle over climate control or climate, whatever the heck you call it.
No, it's already bought. It's coming. It's coming to the United States. Whether or not it gets converted into Air Force One,
That's what I meant. That's where I was going, though. If somebody buys it, they're going to get nothing but flack because they bought this monstrosity.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not buying it. It's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving it to the United States. Yes, they're giving it to us. $450 million gift. Here, Mr. Trump, how you
but
like
we all
this?
give gifts away like that for nothing in return.
Well, when you have the kind of money these people do, it's kind of like when you go to visit your really rich friend and you bring him like a bowl.
These people.
Yeah, but I mean, you bring him like a gold to the bar and say, "Here, how you been?" Oh, yeah, you been. I mean, these are the kind of people. $450 million really isn't.
Islands around their country.
It's about like $4,000 for us.
It's a used plane, so Trump should be like, "I don't want to give me the money instead."
Yeah,
you take the plane.
cash equivalent. It's worth.
I'll take that money. I'll put it towards a new plane.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And Trump's going to just Well, then, like I said, whether or not it gets converted to Air Force Ones yet to be seen. But it's going to end up at. It's going to end up at.
You use
Well, no, it's going to the library.
Use
It
it
has
to
to.
support people, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. That's a good use for it, man. I mean, I think it
Yeah.
hold a lot of people. It's
Give them a luxury ride on the way out.
But come to find out, it's already got quite a lot of equipment in it. It was being used for a couple of things, so it's got quite a lot of equipment in it
So I'm
already.
sure it has some kind of, it's better than what you and I could buy.
It's better than what only a person buying that is
Plane like that. Give me a plane like that. You got nowhere to keep it. You got to maintain it. You know what I mean? It ain't no happen.
I'm sure
It probably costs, a couple of $1 million.
Trump's plane is even better than that. Like his own personal plane.
I'm too suspicious. There's too many. There's a reason. Nobody gives a gift like that.
Of course, there's a reason. So wait, it's worse than that because then they turn around and spend $250 billion in the United States investment. That's the people who's giving in the plane
over time.
And so you've got they did 250 billion, and then whatchamacallit gave I think it was almost 500 billion, and then the first one was 1.5 trillion.
Well, but also United Arab Emirates purchased, was it 10 planes from Boeing?
$250 million worth of planes.
Why don't we just look after our citizens instead of spending atrocious amounts of money on things like this? I'm sorry.
Well, we got to have our president say we can't have him flying around some raggedy ass piece of plane in the sky.
Why not?
And the one that's flying, no, let's be serious for a minute. The plane he's flying in right now is old.
Why not? Yeah.
This thing was already supposed to be retired under Obama. And here it is 3 presidents later, and we're still flying a raggedy ass piece of crap. It's not supposed to be there.
Delta 9, 8, 9, and 10s, propeller-driven things, flying water rescue over California fires.
Yeah, but this is Air Force One. This thing should have been retired a long.
Dude, come
on. It doesn't matter. It's not the age of the airframe. It's what's in the airframe and what can be done with it.
And if you maintain it properly, I suppose. So
yes, but anyway, the plane that's supposed to be coming that won't be here till 2029 was supposed to be here when Biden became president. So it's 8 years past due and a bunch of money past due. You can't have that when it's a president of the United States. That plane should have been ready and rolling off the street in 2 years. On budget. I mean, this is something you're making for the president. He's got to be protected. You don't want him up there in some crappy ass plane because if you bow it and he falls out the spine and kills the thing, well, your company is done. You're done. Shit will probably assassinate or have your family and all your stockholders executed. It's just a dangerous, risky game. No matter how it plays out, your company's done for. Everybody involved with it's done for. All kind of people are going to go to prison. It's just not a way to go. And if it falls out of the sky over some place somewhere and starts World War III, see the one it's got right now, it's got all kind of detection stuff in it. It's got all kind of, it can shoot little flames out the back and all kind of stuff to hide from missiles and make missiles go the other way. And it's actually can take a EMP and away from a nuclear weapon, just like a B-52 can. So it can keep flying right through a nuclear
weapon. With that stuff?
Huh?
It's already set up with that stuff?
No, the one he's on now is. This one's not. I don't know what the one we're talking about, Scott, but this is the one plane he's flying right now. But the problem is a lot of upgraded equipment that needs to go on board, but at the current configuration of the jet he's flying, they can't do it. So, and then they got to wait another 8 years. So they got him flying around in a plane that's not where it should be for a president of the United States. It's probably 15 years behind where it should be flying at right now. Mm-hmm. And why are we risking it? I mean, I know it's Trump, but why are we risking it? It's just stupid. I mean, he's going overseas. He's all over right now. I mean, think about it. He's been flying all over the Middle East.
And there are 4, serious conflicts going on throughout the globe. 4
Here
wars.
we go. Here we go. All right, Jay.
It's a fact. I didn't start him, Sean.
Doing Green Jay, baby. Well, no, I mean,
is Uncle Donnie like trying to stop that war between India and Pakistan?
He already has. They've already stopped. Right. He's well, I don't know if it's going to stay stopped, but he's brought it to a stop.
They're still.
And then the Houthis gave us a hostage back the other day and said, "Here, Mr. Trump, let us give you a blowjob because we love you so much.
Yeah,
And,
but what they're calling for is like the total disarmament from them. They're not going to give
well,
that.
I mean, I'm serious because the Houthis are scared of Trump, just like the Arabs are. And now that you've seen him walk, now that you've seen him walk through the Arab nation, and they say he's the ruler of the world. That was their words they used, the ruler of the world. I don't think any of the other Arab nations, even Iran's now kind of like, fuck. You know what?
Yeah.
The Arab and the Saudis love him to death, so they're and the Israelis already do, so they're kind of like screwed. They're kind of like, oh, okay, wait a minute
I
now.
told you before, you guys come scoop up Carney for us. Take him with you.
You know what? It's funny you brought him up because Uncle
funny I did.
Trumpy's got some surprises for that SOB.
Oh, I hope he's got really
See,
good
but the
ones.
problem is in order for him to do what he needs to do to get him out of there, he's going to hurt the Canadian people. There's no way around it. There's just no way around it. He can get rid of him. He can just simply cut Canada off completely.
Why doesn't he just take him to another country?
Let me tell you what, if he thought he could get away with it, he would have already flew his ass down to Venezuela. Trust me.
And take care of it there where nobody gets hurt.
If he thought he could scoop up Coney and bring him down to Venezuela, he'd already be down in a Venezuela prison,
Okay.
having some roommates. If he thought Coney he could get away because he don't like the son of a bitch, but it's his fault. It's his fault he got elected because before he started the tariff shit, the liberals in your country were so far down it didn't even look like they had a prayer doing anything. And then this asshole goes and starts with the tariff.
A prayer. I still stand on the ground that the fact that he was brought in here out of nowhere and called that he won before anything was even closed up in the polls. It's the part of the big plan. He was brought in. He hasn't even lived in Canada for the last 13 years.
See, Trump's going to start pushing him all over the place because he wants him out of there. He wants a different kind of relationship with Canada. You've had two providences call him directly, saying if they were to succeed from Canada, could they join the United States? And of course, he says as long as it's legal, yes. He said, I'm not going to go to war with Canada. He said, I don't want to have to kill anybody, but
That's what I'm waiting for, Alberta. I'm waiting for them to make that.
Well,
move.
actually, I was shocked to see. I was doing some research on some stuff on TikTok, and we've got a Canadian has-been singer by the name of Jan Arden, and she was just being horrific to Alberta. Did you see that, Carrie Lynn? How awful she was?
Yeah,
she was calling them out.
She was talking like Trump, really. She was name calling like crazy, but she was very angry with the residents of Alberta for wanting to become
join the U.S.
first.
Now, see, when Alberta gets whatever Joe calls it, and I believe Saskatchewan's going to go with them.
Yeah, Saskatchewan's looking at it too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's the one next to Alberta near Washington?
British Columbia.
Yeah. I hear they want to come over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
you guys got Alberta right over, or not Alberta, sorry, Alaska right over top.
Well, no, but that works. We take the western part of Canada and give you fucking California.
No, thank you.
No, it makes you the fifth largest economy in the world with California. And it doubles your population.
Give away.
We've already got an Ontario in California.
What if they wanted like the North England states, like Maine and New Hampshire and all that?
I say we just swap them the West Coast for those three. That works. It's an even trade. They get California, Washington, and Oregon, and we get those three.
Yep.
Take that. It works good for me. What, Jackie? Would you live in Portland? Portland sucks. Look,
the Bigfoot.
I used to love Portland. Right. Oh yeah, it is where all the Bigfoot are, except for they got them down in the south.
What's up, Heidi?
Yeah, they got them on the Sabine River Basin, man.
No, well,
Jeffrey, if you want to see a Bigfoot and you don't live up north, you go to the Sabine River Basin. It's at the Louisiana-Texas line. It's nothing but thousands and thousands of miles of swamp and trees.
Skunk apes.
Not these. These would be considered Bigfoot. The skunk apes are different. Yeah, I don't know if it's a different breed or if it's something else.
Hi, Sherry.
But they act differently and they definitely smell differently.
We got Bigfoot where I live, and you're from part of northern Ontario, Carrie. You got them too, right, Sue?
Okay, Mark, I'll never get to see a Bigfoot because they know I would cook them. So I would shoot the son bitch, and he would be barbecuing 15 minutes later.
Oh my
You
god!
have the whole Bigfoot
Five
community.
tell me you
out
need
there.
Buddha.
If
Is
you
it
get a
Boudin?
big face in your scope, you're not going to
It's
shoot.
a Bigfoot, man. It's
Do you
kind of
guys
like
eat that Boudin? That Boudin is it Boudin sausage?
we eat the brains of apes. It's pretty good too. You
No,
taste like chocolate.
you guys eat rattlesnakes and stuff too down in Louisiana. I
I
think
Hey,
it's
in
called
Georgia,
Boudin.
they
Boy,
dance with
I
rattlesnakes
eat,
in
I eat
church.
rattlesnake in
They
Pittsburgh,
do.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake's good.
I know. It's crazy.
It's wait, Chris.
Alligator. I've tried
No.
alligator. I love alligator.
Why do you think she's from Australia?
Who?
Carrie Lynn.
Carrie Lynn's
What do
not
you
from
think?
Australia.
I know that, but somebody just said that she's the Australian chick.
The
No.
Australian chick. They think you're Australian, Carrie Lynn.
No.
Good day, mate.
I think they got it wrong. So Australians say "G'day, mate," and
Yeah.
Canadians say "How's it going, eh?"
I have
Northern
to tell you,
Ontario.
I am hyper cognizant of the word "a." Ever since most of my
Yeah.
friends are Canadian or American, I hardly ever say the word "a," and if it comes out of my mouth, it's like nails on a chalkboard because I think I trained myself not to
So-
say it.
And it's just because it's an urban myth created by Strange Brew and the Mackenzie brothers from Saturday Night Live.
No, there are lots of Canadians who
Okay.
say
I know, but it wouldn't be a thing if it hadn't been on national TV.
No. Michelle said it last night.
Oh,
I
did
heard her say it about 2 or 3
Did
times.
Michelle say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up.
Yeah.
I was
But I
born
know
not
why
far from where
Michelle said
Michelle was. We grew up close
What's that?
together.
Oh, did you?
I'm sorry,
Michelle grew up or was born like in Sudbury in Ontario, and I was Sault Ste. Marie. It's
I
only
did
a
not
couple of hours apart from each
Um,
other in Northern Ontario.
Christopher Michelle DeRoche said they're talking
Yeah.
about. Yes. No.
Bobby.
So what else we got? We got all kind of new money
Not
from
me.
them, all kind of
I'm up for
freebies.
it.
We got a deal with Iran, maybe kind
Well,
of.
okay, so if if that $10 trillion is going into the United States Treasury, why am I paying income tax? I want that money back.
You're paying
$1,000.
income tax because you don't make more than $250,000 a year.
I don't care. What do they need my money for? If they just made $10 trillion.
So listen, no, really. If Trump gets his way, if you make $150,000 less a year, you won't have to pay income tax. He wants to do away with it.
Well, it was
Yeah.
only supposed to be temporary when it first came out, anyways.
It was.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be temporary, but right now they're fighting over this bill about getting taxes lifted if you're a waiter or things like that, or if you work overtime. He don't want any
Tax on
taxation
tips.
overtime.
Tax on
Tax
tips.
on tips.
Yeah, no tax
And,
on overtime.
but it's
right.
tied up with this other part of these bills, so we have to see where it's going to go because Medicaid, Medicare is in there, and there's
Yes.
a big fight
And
over
then
that.
another one they're fighting over is the medication. He wants to drop that 80%. The medication. They're paying a lot of money in medication, and he wants
Yeah,
to
Trump said he's old. He knows how it is for old people. He needs his drugs. So
One of the medicines I've been prescribed, and I only need one a day. But a 90-day supply was like $169, and a 30 day, just a regular 30-day supply was like $89. So it was like, and it used to be like $6 for like 3 months.
I was surprised that people thought that Canadians get free medicine. We don't get free medicine. We pay for
Gary,
it.
Canadians get screwed actually, but that's only because I've been knowing Canadians. So two good friends of mine died waiting to get stuff
Oh,
done.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of them had a heart problem.
Newsom in California is revoking covering illegal aliens with Medicare.
Yes.
Medicaid.
He's also blaming
Medicare
Trump
is
for his
for over
economy.
65. Medicaid is like under 65. So. But they can't afford it. They can't afford it. It's breaking the system.
Well, when I retired, they said, "Oh, well, you're not 65. You don't get Medicaid." I'm like, "Well, you too. How's that?"
Medicare. Everybody gets Medicare.
Medicare. You have to wait till you're
Always
65 to get that, Joe.
Yes, I know. That's what they told me.
I haven't had a family
You get
doctor in
SSI,
over
stuff
10
like that
years.
for people with disabled.
And that's most of the people in the country in any.
Darn right. Yeah.
People
Wait
are dying
years.
in the emerge waiting,
Yep.
and it's hours and hours, 18 hours
Australia?
more
Really?
waiting in
Yeah, you need to see a specialist. Good luck.
In
Australia?
Well,
I don't know in Australia.
let me ask you,
You
girls
know,
this.
it's Australian.
It's
If it was a real emergency, could
Yeah.
you go to the States and get help there?
I have. I've been to them.
Yeah.
I paid out of pocket to go to the Mayo Clinic.
Yes, because well, see, if you go to emergency room in the United States, it's illegal for them to turn anybody away, even if you don't have money.
Oh, I
They have
Or
to see it.
insurance. Or
because
insurance.
I couldn't get in to see
Yes.
anybody here years
See,
ago.
Sherry Madigan's comment.
Oh, I'm
Can I
Canadian. Just
put
went.
it up?
Put
Yeah,
it up.
just went to Florida with a fellow Canadian to get an operation. It was useless in Canada, and she's right. I didn't know you were Canadian, Sherry. Yeah,
Happy.
I'm telling you,
Canadian taking over, man. Damn. I'm getting the anti-Canadian gun. That's
and
it.
the taxes we pay. Because you hear people saying, "I'm Canada, you get free health care." The only thing that I will say we are helpful for because we pay for it. If you have a serious or chronic illness, like you need a heart transplant, or you need
Yeah.
care. Mm-hmm.
So y'all coming down here? We're going down to Mexico to get dental work done because they have a whole dental.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a dental tourism business built down there now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's good work, cheap price, and they pay for your hotel, airfare, and everything. I'm kind of like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
all right, for still like a third of what you'd pay to a regular
Yeah.
dentist.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had two hosts on this network fly down there and get one. One could fire because she was an idiot, but you know, I ain't gonna mention her name since I called her an idiot, Kathy. But still, I'm sorry.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's the one that cost us our United Public Radio page.
She actually got Trump derangement syndrome and lost her mind completely. Now she's in some kind
Pretty
of
much. Pretty much. She pretty much lost her brain.
Her.
It's
she completely lost her mind, like completely gone.
Martha Reese. What Martha Reese? Why didn't I know your name? What do you mean? Who's my favorite politician? You mean my favorite president? Well, I don't know if I got one. They're all fucking idiots. Excuse my language, but
Heidi,
I
most
like,
of them are.
Most doctors are, Heidi. That's how they get.
That's
That's
what
how
I
they get
just said.
kickbacks.
I like some presidents, but I mean, you know, Trump's okay. Reagan was okay. Clinton was okay. Obama was an idiot, but Obama could have been okay. They just kind of screwed him around and put his own party screwed him. Nobody else but his own party. He wasn't ready to be president yet.
No,
He needed to
bullcrap.
spend about 6
He
or 8
lost
years.
his mind 3 months in. 3 months in, whatever happened to him happened. He changed. His face changed. Everything changed about him. He lost his damn mind, or
That's
he
when
got
kids.
an immense ego kick.
No, it was a little further than three months, but his wife actually talks about this. So she said she remembered the night her husband changed. They were running, you know, drone missions, and people don't realize, but the White House can watch this in live time. So when they got a drone strike going on or a missile strike going on, a cruise missile going, they actually see it in live time.
Yeah, I'd be on that like YouTube, man.
Yeah, so they were after one of these Hezbollah, I mean one of these other leaders, and they had a target and it went in, blew up, killed the leader, but it killed something like 27 children and 8 or 9 women, and it was like 50 people dead. They got the guy they were after, but he still killed.
The collateral damage.
He never, you know, and maybe if he wouldn't have watched it, it may not have affected him as bad, but he's seen these children getting blown up. I don't know how you live with that because you did it. You can't blame anybody but yourself. You made the call. You're the one that said fucking do it, and you watched it all the way to the fucking explosion. So it's on you. And you know, after that, he launched more drone strikes than any president in the United States
They
history.
wiped out a whole family of over 75 people. It was collateral damage. It wasn't even the strike point.
In the end, there was something like over 65,000.
They wiped out the whole family.
Well, that seems to be the modus vivendi. I mean, we did the same thing back in the late '80s.
Oh, we need a song. And nobody pulled up a song.
Thought he was there. We blew up his
Be
newborn
careful
son.
with the song so we don't get kicked off.
There's one in the chat room in the private chat, Joe.
Well, if you got one, go ahead and put it on now, and then we'll come back from break. We'll play a couple promos when we come back.
It's goofy as hell. So anyway, I gotta.
Our new promo's up from Thursday night because Carrie Lynn threw in.
Well, we'll find it when we get in there.
Zoolander.
I hope everybody likes pizza because that's the name of the song. We're going to eat
Oh
pizza.
Lord!
Oh Lord, help us!
It's all about food.
Somebody played a streak.
Oh, the Venga Boys.
It's
Okay, now we can
goofy.
connect
Just
that
trust
with
me.
that.
You'll like it or you'll hate it. It's one or the other.
Okay.
The Power Agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in, or you're in. The Power Agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in,
Welcome. What the hell was all that noise about? Holy shit. Did I get like transformed or something? I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, we're back. No, I'm just fucking with everybody. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone's been enjoying news on the flip side. I hope everything's been going around, blasting around, causing noise and ear discomfort to everybody out there.
Where's the music coming from?
Music? I don't hear no music. Y'all hear any music? Let me know if y'all hear music. I don't see nothing running, but hey, you never know.
Sorry.
Okay, I was going to say no music. So,
why does it say Friar Sean's Paranormal Ministry up there? What's going on with that, man?
Oh wait, we need to change that. That's not him. We had the whatchamacallit behind us, right? This is what we have behind us right here.
Maybe he's.
Oh no, we actually had something different, but we'll use that one. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. So I know we've been talking a little bit about what Uncle Trump was doing over there, and
Uncle Donnie.
It was also talking about poor Canada is now a communist country, and we're all hanging our heads sadly down low, and we're gonna say a prayer now.
Side, we can get Chinese goods really cheap because there's less tariffs.
Yes, way. That's tariffs there, but it's what's it, Stephen? What do you mean? Why I'm being a dick? I got a lot of friends that live in Canada. My freaking station manager lives in Canada. The thing about it is they're not going to be treated right. We already seen what happened with Trudeau. For how many thousands of years he was in office up there. It's Trudeau looked like he in the beginning might have been good, but he ended up turning out to be a complete and utter, communist. So this is where they're headed. Well, I mean, come on, they're talking about following the same path as Britain and Germany. You gonna put people in jail for you saying something on fucking Facebook? Really? You know how many times I'd be in jail right now? Just think about this fucking show tonight. I'd already been to jail like 8 times over there. Poor Carrie Limmer just got dragged along in the neck because she was here.
Our news is so, my friends in the States send news to me because we don't see what you guys see. Like we are.
Yeah, well, I know.
A lot of stuff.
When I see something, sometimes I'll post a couple of things on saying, "Hey, what the hell is this? What the hell is that?" But it's this shit's got to stop. I mean, Germany's already putting people in jail over cell phone usage and things on Twitter and Facebook, and Britain's already done it as well. But Britain, I think, though, as a change leader, yeah, but it's headed for Canada. There's no doubt about that. But I think Britain may end up shaking it off. Germany, I don't know, but I can tell you this. Donald Trump's fixing to come down like a ton of bricks.
Communist, and it shook it off.
Well, But the problem is, Germany's always had the same problem. If you go back and look at their history, I mean, come on, these motherfuckers started a World War One and World War Two. God knows how many wars they got in back in the days when they were just roaming around with helmets and clubs and just beating the shit out of people. The thing about it is they're aching. They got their asses kicked. They want revenge. Come on, they asked us if they could have fucking nukes. Germany needs nukes well, Pakistan needs nukes. No, like Iran needs nukes. I mean, come on. They don't need no fucking nukes.
That's some of the rhetoric that's also been going on around this week is that without question, Trump is saying there's whatever deal goes down, there's no deal with you having nukes, period.
It's no deal where Iran gets to have nukes.
Which sounds to me like he not only not nukes, but no nuclear power plants.
Well, so that's kind of edgy. So I heard 4 reports come out today, and I was watching different news channels. I always flip through channels, but the thing about it is, it seems like he may let them have. I think they said it was grade 3 refining, which is no way to turn it into a nuclear fissionable material, but you can turn it into a fucking dirty bomb.
Don't they
No, they can't. There's no way to do it. No, I mean, all their scientists.
Try to make a bomb out of the material.
Okay, so no, plutonium has to be refined, just like actually several of these we're talking about have to be refined to a certain level to be used as nuclear grade. And the finer they're refined, bigger the explosion. Right. They're nowhere near that. They're just not that. But doing this for using for a reactor is not really. It's not really a high grade. I mean, you don't even have to use plutonium. You can use other stuff. So I'm thinking that's the way they want to go.
That's like taking a pack of matches away from a pyromaniac kid and giving him a Bic lighter and saying, "Be careful with it."
Well, see, the problem is it's not an explosive amount.
They're 100%. They're going to try to abuse that one. Any nuclear.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So they're not going to get. They're not going to get it because the main reason is why is yes, they can't make a nuclear bomb, but they can make a dirty bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Is that going to stop them from trying?
And a dirty bomb is not going to bother us. We're not going to see it over here in the United States, and Europe probably isn't either. But Israel might, or Egypt might, or Saudi might.
Why do we need bombs?
Yeah, who's Dr. Gloom and Doom tonight, Sean?
It's all Canada's fault. Canada invented the bomb.
No, but that's the thing. That's what I keep saying is that any kind of nuclear devices that they're left to have control of, they're going to abuse it in any way that they can to make any kind of advantage over whether it's Israel or Egypt, no matter what. They're enemies. They're enemies for everybody. So I agree.
Just got a great idea for you.
They even have that.
I got a great idea for you, Jay. Go find a game where they launch nuclear missiles at different countries and play that game.
Ooh, there's a couple. You can do that in Civilization. There's a couple of games you can do that in, man.
Actually, remember
the whole planets before, man. And
I know something about emergency management, right? So when it comes to terrorists, it goes funding versus effectiveness. So whatever they have, whatever they can get to be as effective as they can they get a 9-foot nuclear warhead to Manhattan? Well, they can get one through Canada and smuggle it down in all the garbage that we get from Canada every day. The tons and tons of garbage that we take in and bury.
They have to hide it near very large hospital complexes so that the radiation signatures of the hospitals mask the device, but it could be done.
They could shield it very easily, and then also they don't have to get it to Manhattan. They just have to get it to Newark or a place like that. You know what I mean? Like so, but they would do that. They would do biological, most likely.
Okay, so first off, that's not even how that kind of stuff even works. The way the United States is set up right now, not just from satellites in space, but other things that we got going on besides that. In order to get any kind of radiation material in here, anywhere, somewhere, it had to be opened. If it is anywhere on the planet, we spotted it. We know it exists.
If they're looking, you know,
they're always they're always looking. No. This is something.
There's a lot of people who argue that the weakness of the Canadian border and also
the Canadian border is a weakness, but getting a nuke here
cozy with China, and then I think that in the back of Trump's mind, that's a huge issue right there, you know, and it's a vulnerability for the United States. This is why he wants to take over.
Getting a nuke in the country is not going to be an easy thing to do, and even if you
plus all the resources that Canada has. I mean, they got tons and tons and tons of resources. Oil, baby, oil.
Instead of building steel ships, they can build
Texas
hard
tea.
They can build a lot of wooden ships that won't sink.
We don't need nuclear bombs. It's like handing toddlers matches with gasoline.
So you would be a prisoner of somebody. Because anybody that says that becomes a prisoner of somebody else who has a nuclear bomb. You know what I mean? We have them because they have
I'm
them.
talking about nobody, not just one person. I don't understand.
Yeah, but it's too late. Pandora's box is open.
It is too late.
Not much you can do about it. There's way worse than
There's only one way to solve the nuclear problem.
There's way worse than
Get rid of all of it, yeah, but
Believe me
that's
when
not
I
going
say
to happen.
way worse.
There's only one way to solve it.
Well,
They can poison water supplies. If you're talking about body count in wide areas, there's a lot of stuff they could do that's very simple. On the surface, not complicated. They don't have to try to get a nuke. They can do a lot of other stuff. Like Joe said, a dirty bomb. You can render a place useless for thousands of years with a damn dirty bomb.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got a nuclear fuel rod, you know what happens if they get uncovered with water. They superheat, they burn into the ground, and then the China syndrome, right? They shoot wherever they hit a water source, shoots up a cloud of radioactive waste, and then there it goes, man. I mean, look at Fukushima. That wasn't even a bomb site, but idiot morons build a nuclear reactor on a fault line on the water, and they're begging for some shit to happen. I mean, come on, man.
You gotta kind of wonder how Japan didn't get blown up by that.
At least they didn't blame it on Godzilla this time.
No, they got radioactive pigs running around, man, and people are eating those radioactive pigs. It's a huge mess in that area. So who knows what's going to happen in the future with that radiation?
Well, I mean, I know California is seeing a good bit of radiation coming up on the
that radiation has a half-life of 5,000 years, man. So it's not going to dissipate for 10,000 years.
I got a friend of mine told me since he moved to BC, he kind of glows in the dark at night now.
It stays as strong for 5,000 years, then it starts to die down. But
the famous Sans Twitter.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Well beyond.
Yeah, everybody in the chat's got bad weather.
All right, here we go. We're talking about the shell game that Mr. Comey.
Oh, don't forget tomorrow, guys. We're gonna on the Author's Quill. We're gonna have Orson Scott Card with us, talking about his career as a professional illustrator, professional author. He's a guy who wrote Ender's Game, for anybody who's actually seen the movies Ender's Game, yes, and he talks about how he hates it and stuff like that, and it's a great conversation.
I enjoyed the movie, but I haven't read the book all the way, so
to be honest with you, the reason he says he doesn't like it is because Ender was supposed to be much younger.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Who's that?
The same thing is true of Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange. He hates that movie because it doesn't follow the book exactly. It's fairly close, but the lead character is supposed to be 15, and the lead character that's playing him is actually 21, but they portray him as an 18-year-old, like fresh out of high school, 18-year-old.
Is that your babies, Carrie Lynn? So
the real question is, Jay and everybody.
Joe's gone.
She's gone.
There we go.
How do they feel about Sean Puppy Combs' Tootsie Roll penis, man? Because I really want to know. You know what? In the court, they said that he would rape women who would laugh at his Tootsie Roll penis. And then, and I think that it's an insecurity, right? Insecurity takes people like that torture other people are usually the most insecure people on the planet.
Well, somebody sent me today that Obama and Clinton came up in the case.
I used to like Tootsie Roll.
Really?
That wouldn't surprise me, especially Clinton. He was such a horn dog.
I can't like Tootsie Rolls anymore. But where is Epstein's tapes? Where are Sean Puppy Combs' tapes? I'm hearing about this. I'm hearing about that. I want to see heads roll. I want to see people held accountable.
So wait, according to what went on today, I mean, this SOB could get off, man. I mean, so.
Well, the case they presented so far, I mean, it's horrible what happened. Their main witness was Cassie, and they got one more, and the third one's disappeared. They say they can't find her. So did you get paid off? What happened?
You paid them all off, and they're talking anyway.
Either had her killed or had her paid off. Yeah,
that's a fool's payment. You know what I mean?
You know who I felt bad for was her husband, listening to all that shit that he did.
Well,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He stayed in the room. Well, his kid, even Puffy's
But
kids.
you know what? I'll tell you my view on that. Watching that video, of him beating the shit out of her, that sealed his life. That sealed his deal right there. You can bring in, the defense can bring in and try to persuade other people to go to. You're not. You saw that video. You saw what he did.
Did you ever see 50 Shades of Grey?
I
No.
did.
No.
But
And I read
shockingly,
the books.
Sean,
The books were better.
I'm just saying, if somebody is willing, no, it doesn't matter. If somebody's willing, it doesn't matter.
That girl was not willing in that
Not,
tape.
not in the hallway.
That's not what
of a
she
hotel
said.
with people filming it on cell phones. No, that's not.
No, and she's almost 9 months pregnant up on the stand, and she.
Did you
admitted
see
to
that
it.
bag in the video? You see her carrying that leather bag,
And they showed the
That-
complete video.
Did you
in
see her
court.
carrying that leather bag in the video?
Yeah.
When he beat the crap out of her, that bag was full of money.
Yeah,
full of,
because
this
the
guy
complete
carries
video's
around
out now.
millions of bucks literally in cash because that's the way a lot
No,
of these rappers
the
are,
complete
man.
video is out now. They had the security guard on the stand, and the guy John Combs threw the bag of money at him. He said, "No, I didn't want it." He wasn't letting Cassie leave. He talked about he had pinned Combs against the wall to let her leave. Believe me, she didn't consent to that. That wasn't like, I'm playing a game with you. Let's have fun. No way.
But she grabbed the bag of money to leave. I mean, there's she could have just left.
That girl
also.
should have taken him for every penny for what he put her through.
You know what though? But she was with it from the beginning, right? I mean,
And
then
she
you gotta
admitted
look- you
when
gotta
she
look
was
at
with him.
J-Lo, people like that, and
I'm sure she
Even
was
if you
willing
agree
to
to be with someone for money, you
I
don't.
don't believe in the Babe in the Woods routine. Really, I believe people are there. Sometimes these guys can control them. Sometimes they
So-
can make sure.
But I'm kind of, my goodness, the reason I brought this up is I know lots of people who have violent relationships because they like to have sex, and they beat the living shit out of each other, and then they have violent makeup sex. And I know quite a few actually that are like this. So my problem with this is, if this was just a regular thing between them, I'm not sure if the jury is just going to say, okay, well, you should
It
have left
was
alone.
not a regular thing between them, and she copped to what
the
she
bigger
agreed to
issue is
and
the
why
sex
she was
trafficking.
there.
Sex
And then
trafficking
she
is the
talked
bigger
about how she tried to get away. He blew up another rapper she was dating, his car, Kid Cudi. She could not get away from him. So, like I said, she admitted why she was there in the beginning and what she signed up for. This girl was barely 19 when she was with him. She's an aspiring singer. She admitted she got this great record deal for 10 record deal contract. She only had one record. And like I said, she admitted to what she was responsible for. She didn't just say I was an innocent victim and this is what happened to me. But I'm sorry, I don't care how much money.
But
you have.
I don't expect them to say
deserve
that.
to have the crap beaten out of you the way that girl was.
And he
Shocked
gave her $20 million to shut up, which didn't work.
and she admitted to that too. She got. I don't find it a laughing matter. Nobody should.
She didn't admit to it. It was already out there. She didn't say, "Hey, he did this for me." No, they already knew that. It was evidence against her. They already knew that. But I don't believe in the maybe 10% of the time there's that innocence and they get controlled and whatever. A lot of the time, these women
There's other things that bother me about this though, because we've got Amber Turd.
They know exactly where they're going. They love the power, the money, the fame, all that. You're selling your soul to the devil. You really are. And
Yes, you are.
then that's what they
You
get.
got it. So
The
easy
same
for you to
goes
say,
for
"I
Guthrie.
don't
The
make
same
that
goes for
judgment."
Guthrie with Epstein. You know what I mean? She could have walked away. In fact, she did.
This
She
is
did.
a
She
good
went and
point.
married
If
a
anything,
Jew.
a drug, whether they took the drug on their own or they were slipped a drug in their drink against their will or without their knowledge, either
Yeah,
way,
that's what
they're not able to make.
That's different. That's some Bill Cosby right there.
intoxicated.
That's
You
some
know,
Bill
if you're-
Cosby.
But
But-
if
Well, they were saying he was on the drugs, Mike. That somebody had given him
it doesn't
something.
matter.
She got
And she-
addicted to drugs. She got addicted to drugs. Like I
Well, yeah,
said,
but they weren't even saying it was her. They were saying that he was on something because quite a few people have already given testimony that wasn't his normal character. Something else was going on. They think he was on something, which I've seen people lose their minds and beat the shit out of people on drugs. Women, men, kids, and it doesn't seem to affect it. Just whatever
But at
sends them
what
off.
point do people need to be responsible for themselves, man, and say, okay?
Yeah, I always have thought that drugs isn't.
Now would
Same
be
thing with
about
Harvey
P.
Weinstein,
Diddy.
and all these famous people are like, oh my God, he did this, he did that. Well, you were there. You know what I mean? Like, did he rape you? It's different. Or did you engage in this because of what you wanted? You know what I mean? So whatever, man. There's victims out there. Yeah, there's a lot of victims out there. Was this girl a victim? I don't know. It sounds like she could have left at any given time, and she didn't. She chose to stay. And when she did want to leave, she took a bag full.
You can see why. I can see her being in fear of leaving.
Mm-hmm. I think you need to look into it a little deeper.
Well, I mean,
I think I can see a fear.
There's also police evidence. I mean, I think there are several police reports of fights at their home that are recorded in the police record, and I'm sure there's probably a couple of protection orders. Well, I'm sure once she got away from them, I guarantee she had orders of protection and separation and other kinds of things to keep him away from her legally.
Well, but she didn't.
Oh, well,
matter of fact, there was a lot of weird stuff when she was not around him and who she was having sex with, and it's pretty much the same kind of people as he was. It was a very strange. The whole thing was strange. This kind of reminds me of Amber Turd, because Amber said she was having the shit beat out of her, and this went on, and this went on, and this went on, and
she didn't.
And in the end, she didn't. But I'm pretty sure once she got her ass kicked. There's one time I think she wasn't lying, but she lied so many other times that it didn't fucking matter. I mean, nobody was going to believe her anyway.
I never believed.
And this girl's.
Same as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. The same crap there.
I'm tired of that. Blake
Money
Lively.
and power.
That's ridiculous. That I don't even like listening to that anymore. I mean,
and then, well, I mean,
she's a witch.
Yeah, I stopped paying attention to the Hollywood machine decades ago. I pretty much only really watch reruns, things I used to watch.
This, and see, the thing about this that bothers me more than anything is in the 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s, this wouldn't have been a thing. It would have just been written off as they were both high. This is what happened. They need to seek professional help. This wouldn't be a thing. Oh, they were having big sex parties in the 70s. That was a normal occurrence, pretty much in the 80s and 90s too.
He had tunnels under his house going to the Playboy Mansion. It's not a rumor from Diddy's house. And we've all heard what went on at the Playboy Mansions. Right?
Yes.
And you're right. No, it wouldn't have been talked about. That's why it's a big thing now, because now it's starting to be unveiled, if you will. Everybody knew it was going on. Just nothing would have been done. You're right.
But if it's a freak party and people are there because they want to be there, it's his business. And then is it illegal? Illegal to have sex? Is it illegal to use baby oil? Or is he sex trafficking people? Is he breaking the law? I mean, is there?
Yeah, they're gonna have to get him on something where either there was some minors.
They've also levied racketeering against him. So if they can't get him on the sex charges, they can get him on like the money making scheme of the aspect of charging the parties.
They can get him on violence for beating her up pretty good. Yeah. But if it's the first time he's ever been charged with this, he might get he might not get it.
They're reopening with his main.
But where are the police reports? Where are the charges?
You got other problems though.
You can't be a dude like that and not have paperwork follow you.
But you've got other problems. Where's J-Lo? Why ain't she out there saying he did this to her?
She's not saying anything. If you notice,
that's why.
Or any of the other women.
She got out.
She's paying a publicist to keep her out right now because people are gonna start saying, "Well, J-Lo was there. Why didn't J-Lo? How come? What did she know? And what did she do? And whatever." You know what I mean? So. Then you get that other dude coming out saying that.
Did he marry her? No,
wait. So 10 years ago, I'm sorry, wait, 20 years ago.
Justin Bieber came out and said that he did nothing to him. He was a little kid when he was around him. And
but that was questionable because.
So you got a lot of testimony out there, man, a lot.
But Ashton came out and said he was a fucking pervert. So it just depends which story you want to believe. It's,
of course he's a pervert. We know tons of perverts, even in this room right here. Yes. You know what I mean? There's perverts everywhere.
Yeah, Laura Lee's definitely a pervert, man. We've seen her perving before. Whew, man.
I think that people shouldn't be hitting anybody. What you do in the comfort of your bedroom with consenting adults, that's fine. It's when you no longer have consent.
I agree, and I disagree. So it's a kind of effed up thing for men.
In most places, it's illegal.
Stuff like what happened to her should have never happened. And in the old days, you know what would happen in the old days? They would have arrested Diddy, and then he would have gave her $50 million, and they would have went their separate ways.
I'm not sticking up for this dude, but at this point, I want to see evidence, not just hearsay, not just bullshit testimony. I'm talking about evidence because everybody who is
they have it. They say they have it.
Everyone who's coming out against him has a lawsuit against him too. So follow the money. He's a rich guy. And they know they're going to line their pockets if they can prove something, But But you know what?
I want to see the video where he's porking Obama. That's all I
Yeah,
want
of
to
course
see.
he's a scumbag. I know people just like him in the same damn music business.
I'm telling you, I want to see the one where he's porking
If they had
Obama.
billions and billions to control, they'd be doing the same stuff, and they'd be buying and selling people. But I'm gonna tell you a quick story. My grandmother, what my grandmother said to me one time, back in the day, remember the movie Goodfellas, right? There was that Lufthansa heist. Now, my grandmother used to listen to WOR radio when I was a little kid, and I was listening to the radio, and they were finding these dead bodies all over the place, these mafia guys, right? And I'm like, that's horrible. I said, it's scary. You know, she's like, well, you don't have to be afraid of the mafia. They only really do that to each other. Just don't get involved. Don't get involved. You know what I mean? So when you get involved, when you make that deal, and you think, okay, I'm going to grab this fame and fortune and power, man, there's a huge price tag that goes with that. And it's never easy, and it's never as good as you want it to be. That's the devil right there. It's never as good as you want to be when you sell your goddamn soul. So, you know, I mean, are there victims? Of course, there's a lot of victims in this world. A lot. Every day, all the time, on everybody's block, there's victims, you know. Is this woman a victim? Well, partially, yeah.
Take the money and run.
The guy's a very controlling, narcissistic, real insecure type of person. You know, so and people like that, are capable. They're capable of anything, man. You know, because it depends on how far. I mean, these are their sociopaths. You know, they're psychopaths, psychopathic narcissists. They're capable of anything, anything. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. I want to see better witnesses come out, you know, with better evidence, because this girl, there was a lot of windows for her to leave, and yeah, people can be controlling.
Well, she was a girl then. She was a woman. She's a woman now. She was a girl back then who is immature.
Yes,
lack
I
of
agree.
resources and whatever her background was, right?
She was very honest on the stand when she admitted that she was very jealous. She was deeply in love with him. She admitted why she was with him. She also said that she when she hit him, she did hit him. She said she admitted to the stuff she did, but when it got so bad that the poor girl had bladder infection so bad, or UTIs as they're called, no antibiotic would touch them. She had sores down her mouth and her throat. She was beaten up from head to toe. Although she had to have plastic surgery every time she tried to leave the guy. Even when she went back to him, she
is there documentation of that? Is there documentation? Does she have the pictures? Does she have the hospital records? Is she coming out saying this is what happened? And not that, okay, I had this happen to me. This is why it happened, a direct result from what he did. You're trying to prove
evidence.
You're trying to prove
there and say, believe me, this
something.
is what happened.
The burden of proof is on the accuser. So whatever you accuse somebody of, you better have the information backing you up to show what they did or whatever. And that's why I started recording everybody. And then after they start messing with me, I'm like, I recorded everything we talked about. Then they're like, uh-oh. Then people forget what the hell they even said. You know what I mean? And I'm ready, man. When I became a private investigator, I started doing that. In the beginning, it felt a little weird, but you know what? It comes in handy. You know?
Okay, Michael, do you think they will actually show the evidence? Will they tell us the evidence?
I don't believe anything anymore about anything, man.
The evidence the evidence was so bad in court that they had to set up shields around the jury so none of the reporters or anything could get picked up. And it's not even on TV. I'm telling you
that Puff Daddy.
One jury member already vomited on the stand watching.
I think that he pissed somebody off, because this guy had Obama parties where he lined Obama's pockets, and all of his rich friends came and gave the money.
He said he was porking Obama like he was porking the pig,
nobody's
man.
mentioning that at all, are they? About all the big Democrat money he gave, the Black Lives Matter crap and all that. No one's saying a word about that, but, I don't know. Whatever, man. We'll see what happens. I want to see evidence. It's court. You never jump to conclusions. You can't jump to what the media says. You have to go by the evidence. The evidence. That's it. Just the evidence, Yeah,
but here's the one thing that no one has ever noticed about this. Isn't it kind of weird how just after the Democratic Party lost the presidency for the last 8 or 12 years, he gets arrested?
Yeah.
The Republican administration all of a sudden. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nothing funny there. Bullshit. Something's up in the air.
Same as Harvey Weinstein now.
Yeah.
They've gone back through his case. And of all people, Candace Owens has been digging into it. And when she went through the court records, that evidence, it is crazy that he even got convicted. And I don't like Harvey Weinstein, but I think you got to be fair as fair. I'm sorry. Exactly the evidence. Look at the story that you're being shown. And I don't think he's a good guy, but I don't think he deserves to be in jail for 22 years. Right?
There's a lot of casting couch people like that out there, and it shouldn't be. You should be getting acting jobs on merit, which doesn't happen anyway. Because look at all the famous people out there; they're normally the kids of other famous people, and they really aren't really talented. You know, they make movies around their personality. Some of them just have the same personality in every movie. You know, whatever. But and then Hollywood, you know, Corey Feldman came out, didn't he? And he turned out Hollywood on the whole pedophilia and all the whole drug racket, sex racket, all of these things. I mean, P. Diddy is a symptom of all of that in the music business and show business in general and who controls it. But, you know, I think that more needs to be explored, definitely. And if he's guilty, good. Lock him up, man. Lock him up. Lock him up. All of them. If they're guilty, lock them up. There's a lot of guilty people out there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That won't be locked up. That won't end up getting locked up.
They'll probably knock him off like Epstein. They knocked him off pretty quickly, easily. You know.
Do you really believe Epstein's dead? I don't think he's dead.
If he's not dead, yeah, they whisked him away somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's living the life of Riley at Club Fed somewhere in an unextraditable situation, if you will.
Maybe.
If he is found out.
Seems like he'd be a liability alive, though.
He may be more of a liability dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. You know, he burned
it
out.
It costs too much to keep him alive.
He stays alive. You know what I mean?
It would cost too much to keep him alive. You know, and you know, it's gone. He's gone. He's dead. They locked him up with a cop who was found guilty already of killing 4 people. You know, went to this whole drug thing. He got involved in you know, New York City and around the way in Yonkers. So they locked him up with that dude. So 11 o'clock at night, some commotion went on. They took the cop out of the cell and left Epstein by himself, where he allegedly hung himself from 4 feet in the air. The doctor who examined him said his bones in his neck were broken in a way that only your hands could get your thumbs in there and do it. He couldn't just wrap something around your neck. But I'm gonna bring a picture up of this this cop, because when you see him, you're gonna understand. and you know what? No one ever talked about what happened to the cop. Nobody, you know, did he get a suspended sentence? Is he locked up? You know, did he get paid off? But I'm gonna bring a picture of this dude up. He's a monster. He loved animals though, so it makes you feel good, kind of, in a way.
Whatever. Yeah, fuck that.
Serial killers can love animals too. Doesn't make them.
And the camera system mysteriously didn't work that night. The one night, it didn't work.
Now that would be suspicious. I'd be like, damn, I'm not fucking buying that. Tell me something that's easy for me to believe.
Did you see that they put the headline out that Michelle Obama was on I forget whose talk show, saying she was transitioning? So I was listening to this going, what? Because I have a clip of her. Now, again, with AI, you got to be careful with everything, but it sounded like she had said, because I'm a man, as she was talking.
I saw
and then
that.
it came out her saying that she was transitioning. All she said was, it was a bigger podcast, she's just transitioning into another phase of her life.
Well, there are several incidences of Barack himself giving speeches and referring to her as Michael.
Yeah, well, there are pictures of Michael before.
Obama refers to her as Mike. He calls her Mike. This is that guy, Nicholas Tartaglione. This is the cop that Epstein was locked up with, you know. And this was the cop who you tell me this guy couldn't strangle you with his bare hand.
Yeah. He could punch you in the face and snap your neck, probably.
He killed 4 people anyway. He killed, and they say a lot more, really. But this is when that whole commotion happened, and they took this guy out just after 11 o'clock at night out of the cell, and then Epstein was there alone. And and they found him dead 5 o'clock in the morning. So your guess is as good as mine. I'm gonna say this guy got paid off to because all you gotta do is make a deal.
I'll bet you he didn't get any. He may not have gotten any money, but I bet you he got time off.
That's how I was
or more perks.
Or he just did it because he was a cop and he hates criminals, even though he killed people. But think about it, man. He's gonna go up anyway. He's probably thinking, "Here's a scumbag who pimps out kids. I'm gonna freaking kill him. I'm gonna just do it." And then he had no problem, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, typically in most prison situations, convicted and or about to be convicted pedophiles, rapists, and other people who harm women and children and old people usually die first.
A lot of times they keep them in a separate wing too.
A high profile prisoner like Epstein should have been locked up alone, in a whole different security situation. But this dude right here was locked up with him. And the fact that they didn't even investigate him or try to charge him or even suggest that he had anything to do with it shows you that there's probably a big cover-up going on. Because that
Michael, is that an old picture though? Like, is that a recent picture of what he looked like at the time?
That's probably before prison. Yeah, what does he look like now?
This was 2016 when this was taken.
Well, that's 10 years ago.
It says he was arrested in 2016, but is that photo from 2000?
Yeah, I mean, there's other photos of him. He's he's a muscle guy. That's
like I get he's a big guy, but was he still that big?
Oh yeah, he was a muscle guy. That's what he's into. Those guys never give up the life, working out and doing that. You know what I mean? He's probably locked up somewhere working out right now. As a matter of fact.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt. That's true though. Guys who work out then tend to think, all right, who's these people with this Beyond show? Wait a minute, I kick somebody here in a minute.
Beyond.
Let me see. I don't see the girls on. Okay, there's Spirit Switchboard. There's Father Sean. There's Ethereal. There's the Blood of the Matrix. There's the Out Around. There's Eastro. There's Paranormal Insight. I seem to be missing a Thursday show.
Beneath the here, I'll find it for you.
It must not be on UFO Paranormal.
Yes, it is. It's at
Bad girls.
I hope nobody got rid of it. No, it's the second one from the bottom in the video. Second one from the bottom.
You are smoking that stuff, man.
There's the power.
Is that another picture, Michael?
That was Nick Tartaglione allegedly as of 2025. It didn't look all that big anymore.
Yeah, we're second from the bottom in the videos. It's 29 seconds. You got to figure out how to make that the right size.
I will play that on Sunday night.
Well, oh, that's nice of you, Sean. Thank you.
That was more recent right there.
No, I played that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about your show. It's not showing up on YouTube's UFO Paranormal Radio.
Oh, our show?
Yeah, it's not.
I wonder why. I streamed it there.
It's not. It's not there. That's what I'm telling you. I'm looking for. I'm actually putting up shows while we're talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the banner.
Bad girls. Oh.
Bad girl. That's right. I
don't know how to do any of that stuff.
Bad girls. Bad
That's
girls.
why we got Joe and Michelle to take care of that stuff. I don't either.
Marley.
I'll go look later and pull it off a different source.
He still looks big in that
it's
one.
here, Joe. It's here. You got to scroll ways down.
Okay. Ways down where?
The Outer Realms above us with Sean Kelly, and then we're below Beneath the Hollow Moon on the UFO Paranormal. It's on UFO God. I don't know how I ended up on UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials.
Oh, you're on the wrong one. That's why I can't
did not
find
stream
it.
it there. So somebody was.
Well, no, you can stream it to both. No, because you're actually supposed to stream to both of them because one's a backup for the other. They're both backups, is what they are.
I can never find it. Remember we talked about because I put us on the main channel.
Yes, because it is a pain.
Somebody was messing around in the back there, if you know what I mean.
It's all the wrong words to be searched on YouTube. It's UFO Paranormal is easy to find, but the other one is just
I know. Okay, because I put it on the main channel because it's easier to find.
I'll grab it off there after a while.
But I don't know who put that on there because I didn't put it on.
Probably the boss lady.
That's happened to me a couple times.
The boss lady probably did that.
Unless I did it and I wasn't thinking.
No, the boss lady does that from time to time. She just
I wasn't saying that, but she does help.
Well, it was a crazy day yesterday. It was crazy trying to get people to make sure.
And if we miss something,
off.
she usually catches it. Is what I'm saying. Now she knows, because I tell her I leave one spot open to add either Instagram or TikTok at the last minute, so she leaves it. But she's on top of stuff, so it wouldn't have been.
Well, that's they. When I get on SoundCloud later on, I'll switch all the information out. I'll find the banner and put it on there actually and switch it on, because it's actually up right now. But now it's just got the pretty.
It could have been me, because I forgot that our main channel's now at the bottom more. It's not up at the top anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Things did get kind of moved around.
Yeah.
We're sorry, audience. Don't be hollering. Blame Jay for it. It's just Jay's fault.
No, it's mine.
No, whatever it is, it's always Jay's fault. No, it's always Jay's fault. It's that. What's that, Frank?
I have no.
No, that's because of Jeffrey. Jeffrey put a voodoo curse on him.
So this muscle cop, right?
He looks younger in that picture, Michael. That's what I meant to add. He looked younger.
This muscle cop, who is 56 years old now, he got 4 consecutive life sentences when that whole thing happened. Now a judge is looking to reopen and put a bid in for a new trial in that quadruple killing. So there you have it. Who knows? Who knows?
I called into a true crime show before here. They were actually, because I've been following that Karen Reed case too. That is just mind blowing what is going on in that courtroom, and how the Commonwealth, that the judge, the cops that did what they did. Oh my God! Like I don't know.
Seems to be a lot of drama running around on the planet here.
There is.
Let me tell you something, man. I'm going to tell you this about the justice system. It all starts with the first report. And if you're not on that report when the incident happens and those cops show up and what they write down, if you're not on every word, if you're not descriptive, if you don't make them do extra, write extra stuff out, a lot will be assumed. Things can go the wrong way. So justice starts with that first couple lines, a couple sentences, man. And then it goes on.
These guys use leaf blowers to move the snow, because it was a cop that died and was found on a cop's lawn. And they tried to charge the girlfriend with this. And they put the evidence in solo cups. The beer pong cups? Some reports weren't written until over 500 days later. This is just, it's worse than the Keystone Cops, what these guys did. And the judge.
Hey, watch it now. I'm in the Keystone State. I'm in the Keystone State down. So is Shawnee up there.
But it's just like, and I can't believe that they're getting away with this, and they don't answer to anybody.
I trim my hedges with a katana sword. I mean, it's effective. I'll tell you something. There is nothing better.
There's a whole wall of katanas right there.
It's effective. And if someone's walking by something, I don't know. I don't have any control over that. It's bait.
A katana sword. That's crazy. I never saw that before.
I raked my I used to rake the snow off my walkway.
Yeah, but you're collecting evidence of somebody that lost their life, and you're using a leaf blower. Good luck with the DNA or any extra evidence. It's gone with the wind.
Yeah. Look at John Benet Ramsey, that whole case. I mean, when the cops responded, they all burst in there. They walked all over everything, touched everything, did everything. They polluted the whole thing. You can't get evidence from a situation like that. Almost impossible.
Yeah.
So, you
have limited access in situations like that.
Okay, since we're on cases like this, let me ask you this. Do you think that dude actually killed those 4 college students?
Yep.
You think he did?
Yeah, but he had help. There was somebody in there who helped him. I think some girl that's in there. There's somebody,
I believe that.
And then there was a girl in there who didn't even report the murders for hours and hours and hours after it had happened. There's something going on there. But I don't believe he acted alone. I believe that there was someone who aided him in some way. There's somebody else. It'll come out.
No, I think he acted alone.
After he gets convicted, it'll come out.
He was in Pennsylvania when he got arrested.
Yeah, the FBI followed him to Pennsylvania.
Man, everybody's getting arrested in Pennsylvania. People get shot up there.
he drove to Pennsylvania with his father back from
Yeah.
from out west where he went to college, and then the FBI followed him the whole time.
I do believe next
The
to
father
Georgia,
even mentioned that there was a
largest
particular
state
car.
on this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, the father even mentioned to him while they were driving that there was a particular car he was seeing a lot behind him. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I think he did it because they've reenacted now what they
You
think
can see it in
happened.
his face. You can see it in his face. You can see it in his eyes. You know what I mean? When someone kills someone, they change. Their face changes.
There's
Their eyes
pictures of
change.
him right after the
They
next
change.
morning
They
that have been
physically change.
released. Did you watch Dateline? They were investigating how Dateline got this evidence, but he's been mimicking pictures of Bundy right after when Bundy was taking pictures, like the morning after. Creepy as all, like, good Lord. It's really bad, the pictures, like just his face and what he's wearing, and like he doesn't even look like the same person. Like
They placed him at the scene with there's a new term people need to learn, forensic evidence, electronic forensic evidence, so they used his cell phone and they triangulated that. They knew exactly that he was in that location, at that time.
He turned it off, but the problem was that he'd
Doesn't
been
matter.
in the area 14 times. He'd been clocked going around there.
That's right.
Around stalking. They even released in the Dateline video that just came out when he pulled in. They played the tapes at the Ring camera that picked up some of the sounds. Like it's pretty bad. I think this kid did it.
Oh yeah, he definitely did it. And there's no other suspects. That's all he did.
DNA was found on the knife sheath.
He had motive, and he was around. So, but I know there was somebody there that helped him. I know. I feel that strongly.
I don't know, but I'll tell you, I think he did it.
Leah in the house. Leah in the house, everyone.
Hi there.
Hello,
Hello.
Hello, Leah. Leah, have you ever met Carrie Lynn and Laura Lee?
I think I met Laura Lee, but not Carrie Lynn.
I think once before. Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Uh-oh, man. Another girl. We'll be in trouble.
Uh-oh. You boys are getting outnumbered.
All we got to do now is
There's only room for 3 more, so as long as we get 2 more dudes in here, we're all right.
Lord,
Yes?
call Michelle and tell her to come on.
No, she doesn't do politics. I know she doesn't.
Besides, she don't count as a girl
That's
anyway.
a good thing because we don't either.
No, you're bad, dude.
We pulled out the Star Trek tarot.
Oh, no. I'm out of here.
I'm
out of here.
$5.
I'm out of here.
I have not mentioned the F word tonight. I don't owe any money yet.
Oh, that's right. Lord, you know what, sweetie? You're at $15 tonight. I'm writing it down.
Hey, Sean, does this
Come
count?
up and visit Sean, and I'll pay you $15.
Yes,
That
that
count?
counts.
Does
That's
it?
memorabilia. That counts.
It's not official. All right, okay, that counts.
You know I love you, Sean.
Oh, my God. Now, what the hell were we talking about for y'all went all weirdo and stuff?
That dude in Colorado who killed them 4 college students.
Yes, and Heidi Gall is right. His sister starred in a slasher low-budget film that he said his sister was an actress that was not very popular. Yes, she was in some Z-list production of a slasher film getting killed with a knife. His whole family thinks he did it. They're being called as witnesses for the
Material and character witnesses, yeah.
prosecution, not for the defense, for the prosecution.
That's craziness, man. This is crazy.
Yep.
I don't know. What's wrong with that's I'm gonna ask everybody this question. What the hell is wrong with people today?
It's in the water.
What happened to when we were growing up? We never ever acted like this.
It's in the water. It's got to be. It's in the water. It's fluoride. Some people just can't take their fluoride enough, and
It's so hard for me to even comprehend how people can just go out there and do some real freaky shit to people and not bat an eye. That just I'll be 63 in June, and
It's
never
a sign
in
of the
my-
times.
It sucks, man. It sucks. I'll never see America the way I was raised. I'll never see it again.
Yeah, or the world. I mean, look at the
Or the
world. I
world.
mean, geez. I mean, there's
I mean, it's like,
at the level of technology we have, and as big as the countries that have this much technology, there shouldn't be as much shit going on as there is right now.
there's a ton of stuff, man. There are
Yeah.
some sick freaking people out there, Jay.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's disgusting what's going on. There shouldn't be none of it should be happening at all. That's what and just at the level of technology that we are in possession of, the heinous shit that's going on and has been going on for all of recorded history. Let's just go back that far. It shouldn't be happening. It should already have stopped.
But what does technology do to a person's brain
Apparently nothing.
or mind? It's all that.
I don't think
that-
it's just technology, though.
as we did when we were
I don't
the
think
kids.
it's just technology. I think morals and ethics and culture has gone by the wayside versus, say, 100 years ago. The food that we're eating, the air that we're breathing, people
Is
don't
it air?
taught
Are
to
we
treat,
breathing
they
air?
try and handle
Oh
bullying,
shit!
and
Oh,
it's at an
shit.
all-time high. Oh, that cancels my debt. That cancels my debt.
No, no.
That cancels my debt. What is going on over here?
You put that up. You're in trouble.
One of the best episodes ever, I'll tell you, man.
That's Michael. That's on Michael.
These guys are
Mike,
battling it out. They battle it out. You know what?
You're in 25, man. You're in for 25.
Gene Roddenberry was a genius, man. I'm not
Anyway, Gene Roddenberry, we're going on break.
Roddenberry was genius.
I love Gene Roddenberry myself. We got to go to break
Mike,
right quick.
Mike,
Oh,
do you have a song for us, Mike? Do you have a song for us?
Nah,
Too late. This one's already out of key.
I don't do that anymore.
Too bad we can't play something like Rush. Something like Rush. We all
No,
like
this is none of that. This is just stupid, whatever this is. So
Just
here we
plain
go.
stupid 1970s.
Yeah, it's just stupid as can be.
People don't like my songs, so I'm not doing it anymore.
I love them.
I love them. Just that YouTube doesn't love it.
Oh, this is the street. Yeah, baby.
The drugs they were on in the 70s, man.
Yes, yes, yes.
I guess against those drugs in the 70s are even better now.
I have to say. That was a little weird to start off with there. For any of you people who have been streaking before, I know Michael has been. Michael's been streaking and skinny dipping. I don't know about Jay, you know. He kind of skinny, so the wind might blow his ass away.
Yeah, well, but put it like this: my first job, I was a lifeguard, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, a little jealousy going on there, Joseph. Okay.
I'm a lifeguard. Were you streaking as a lifeguard?
I said I wouldn't say any more about that, but you can infer your own inferences.
It's
from
I don't, because
I wonder.
I'm gonna have to wash my eyes out with Clorox bleach, dude. No.
What are y'all bleaching your eyes out about now? What the fuck am I missing over here? It's
400,000 gallon pools are generally cleaned with chlorine gas. So yeah, it was a very clean pool.
Oh my God, that's too much information for my virgin ears.
I don't know, man. I mean, some things, you know, some things you just don't want to know about.
No.
Now, I wonder if I play Tom Sawyer. I wonder if I play Tom Sawyer if they're going to smack us or not.
Oh, I don't, because my Facebook pages go down. It will go down.
You think?
Yeah, I know. Because when you played Metallica, dude.
Well, Metallica's different. Metallica's dick face. Metallica, they're the worst about anybody. They have sued every motherfucker that exists. I mean,
Starting
they
with
are
Napster, yeah, they're horrible.
Oh yeah, they're the reason Napster went bye-bye. They put the screws to them. I mean, they were just a shit. And if I didn't like their music so much, I wouldn't even fucking listen to them.
And that's why I don't listen to them either. I mean, I haven't bought an album since. Their claim to fame as the way they got known and famous was they were a garage band that told their friends, tell your friends to come and record, and then pass it on. That's how they got known in California. Everybody came to their events and recorded them, and then passed it on to their friends who came to their next shows and recorded them and passed it on to a new group of people.
I didn't even know who they were. I didn't even know who they were. We were actually going to go see Rush, and no, we weren't going to see Rush. We were going to go see what's his name, little pretty boy Axl Rose. We were going to go see them.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, thank you. We were going to see Guns N' Roses, and they were the opening act, and they were far better than Guns N' Roses. Well, I was like, shit, ain't this a surprise? I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed all three artists that were playing that day, but I mean, still, I was surprised, and then they just took off like. And then all of a sudden, they just became dicks. I was like, "Well, you know what? Fuck you! I ain't listening to you no more."
It's the money. It became dicks. And the same thing happened with REM. I went to go see REM. They were the up and coming band. It was their Green Album tour, in 1987, I think. And the opening band was 10,000 Maniacs. I saw them in Connecticut. The audience hall was terrible. It was old and run down. The acoustics were awful, but the sound setup for 10,000 Maniacs was pretty good. They didn't have a light show because they were brand new. They were they were still a garage band basically. And then REM came on and they had a horrible ass light show, terrible smoke show, and their audio was so muddy I could barely make out the lyrics. It was awful.
It's
I didn't pay money for it.
So all the good looking people are in the top. Is that what's going on here?
Damn straight, man.
Not in this show.
Oh yeah, this show, yeah.
Sean's like, yeah, we're right.
That's great, buddy.
Sean was like, wait, what's going on here? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. No, we're just doing a short song because we was fucking around. Well, I was going to play Tom Sawyer, but I'm not sure how YouTube's going to react. Well, they got a tendency to hit us. They just turn us off.
Don't go to YouTube video. Go to YouTube Music and try it through there.
Look,
I'm late for that.
Can you read? Look. I'm just saying. I ain't going nowhere. I'm like where I'm happy at.
Carrie Lynn, you look like you're ready for bed.
Oh, Carrie Lynn. Do you need a hug?
Yes, I am.
She needs a group hug, y'all. We should give her a big group hug.
I've been up since 5:45 a.m.
Me too, because my dogs are arseholes.
I have to work at 8 a.m.
Yes, so don't you hate that? So last 2 days I've had to be up at 6. Last night I finally fell asleep at 4 a.m. So I'm sleeping. I was like, all right, I'm gonna sleep late. Blah 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 blah. And I feel something wet on my nose. I'm like, what the fuck? And I open my eyes and here's Fiona, nose to nose. As soon as my eyes open, I feel tongue. And here comes Blackie from underneath the covers, boom, on top. Daddy, boom. I'm like, whoa, come on, guys, let me wake up. And there's tongues everywhere. I'm like, stop, get off.
Yeah.
Guys,
You
I mean,
can't
they're
even blink, and then they're on you. As soon as they think that you're moving in the morning,
they can tell a difference in your breathing, and they are on you like white on rice, people.
That's the only good thing about having a 100-pound.
I like how you said about
They
that.
don't jump on you in the middle. They walk up to the side of the bed and go face right to your face. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
Ow!
Oh yeah. Big ones just got bigger tongues. That's what the problem is there.
Yeah, it's.
You know?
Listen, he walks. No, he'll walk by the kitten, the boy kitten, and he's I don't know. He's like 18 inches long, and he'll just go like that on him, and the entire cat is wet.
Yep.
It's one lick, and the whole cat is sopping wet. It's like, and you don't know because the cat is wet.
You know, Jay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we want to know about your wet kitty, man. There's something about this. There's something about this.
You walked right into that, brother. You walked right into that, Jay.
I mean, it's just something doesn't sound right about this, man.
You walked right into it, Jay.
Oh man. But anyway,
no, it's the only way I can get this show onto towards the X rating we're trying to get.
Yes, no, that's okay. We get enough ratings as we need, as it is.
No way, look at that. We just got bumped from all the feeds.
So Jeffrey said we have not done enough news. We're being assholes, and we talked about Quatar. They got heavy into who killed who and who.
Well, we're talking about things in the news.
Let's go back. We're going to back to Diddy, not Diddy. So. Going back to Weinstein, it was a very weird thing with Weinstein because I remember Jodie Foster and what's her name?
Christy Nichols?
One of the Friends girls. No, she was from Friends.
Jennifer Aniston.
Which one's the middle one? I always think not the black haired one, not the blonde one.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, that's right. No, well, they both came out and said really nice things about how they helped him get a career going and how he got things going. And then there was a lot of other people came out and said the same things, but there were women who said, "Oh yeah," he said, "Give me some, what, and I'll give you a career." So here comes the real question: did you give it to him? And if you did, then you paid to get your career. That's why I'm confused on. Okay, he was a dick for doing that, and as a professional, he should get fired. Yeah, but he didn't actually break a law.
He didn't.
Now, on the other hand, when you go back to fuckface, what's his name? Fat Albert guy,
Cosby.
Cosby. That's different because he was giving him drugs.
Yeah.
But then, and ladies, don't get mad at me for this, but you're a 20-year-old girl. You dressed kind of nice. You're meeting this guy. Oh, can you come to my hotel room at 7
not going for
what?
She knew why she was going. I'm
sorry. You go.
You've been at a bar all night long, and you've been hanging out with a guy, letting a guy buy you drinks all night long, and then he invite him either back to your place or to his place, and then you're absolutely flabbergasted with what happens. You weren't going there for cookies and tea. I'm sorry, you weren't.
What do you mean? Would I be gay for money? No.
That's quite a question.
No. I know what you're trying to drive at, but no. Okay, just. I shouldn't even bring this up. So long, many moons ago, before I knew any of these people, I wasn't even hosting on this. I didn't have this network then. I was hosting on Stardust Radio. I was hosting a show called Wake Up USA. I'd been on about 3 years. This guy calls into the show one night. Matter of fact, my wife is sitting there listening to the show.
Guys like you.
So he goes. He said, "Well, John, I've been listening to you a long time." I said, "Yeah, I know you call on a regular basis." So he goes on and on and on. And then my producer starts playing this weird music. So these two fuckers had talked. And he proposes to me on air. He proposed to me big time. And he says, "Well, look, I'll hook you up. You can come live. We don't have to have gay sex. You can bring Linda, but I want to be your husband." I was like, thank God we didn't do video back then, man, because my face was probably like, I was like, wait.
So gay guys like you. You have
yes, they do. It's always been a fucking curse. Gay guys, Vietnamese women, and black women. For some reason, it's a curse. Mm-hmm. It's just one of them things. But you know what? Dogs and kids love me so. Mm-hmm.
The thing is with like Harvey Weinstein, he wasn't a good guy. No, he did.
No, he wasn't. He's a bastard. And he was getting nookie. He was getting nookie for he was using his position to get laid. You know.
No, absolutely. But I mean, at the same time, it's not. I mean, it's even grosser than that. He's taking advantage of these people sexually, basically raping them. It's a statutory rape, I think, is the way it would be in the court.
Okay, but Jan,
however, it's beyond that, he's using them to advance their career sexually, and then he's getting a percentage as a representative of that person. Every show they make, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. If that little child he just molested goes on to a TV show and makes $1,000 a show, that dude makes $1,000 or $100 every time that.
Okay, but what I'm going to say to you, what came out, if you're not even humiliated, is all the women that came out of the woodwork, all accusing Weinstein of set. You know how they all got weeded out because they were describing his private parts, and this is how they weeded them out. It came out in the court records. He had gangrene down there, and let's just say his two little coconuts will say no longer exist. They've been transplanted into his thighs. That's how they all got weeded out, except for two.
Oh my God!
That's not rumor. That, like you said, because they all said they all described what they think a normal man would look like. He didn't look like that, so that's how they got caught lying. And then the judge that prosecuted him has been removed for breaking numerous laws and not following decorum of being a judge. And when you look at the records, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Candace Owens, but I got to give her credit. She brought forth, and she never told people what to believe. She just presented some of what had been, the evidence. And there's no way this guy should have been convicted. They kept saying, he essayed me and took advantage of me. Yet he was paying for their family to fly to trips. And, this was going on for years between these two women that he got prosecuted for. Well, I don't know any woman that's been raped by a man is going to be calling him and introducing him afterwards to your mother and getting him to pay for flights. And this isn't rumor. This is what's in the evidence.
It was at that time, and he got bit in the ass. Just like Cosby did, because in the end, in the end, there was something like almost 80-something women came out against Cosby, and even at one point, everybody's like, "Come on, that's just ridiculous," because he started working out his time on the road.
Why did he wait so long?
Well, it wasn't even that. They started working out how often was he actually on the road. Well, he was only on the road when he was doing comedy. So when he was working, because none of his co-workers anywhere ever made an accusation against him.
And Laura asked a good question. Why did they wait so long? In the Cosby case, well, they did. There were so many of them. They didn't all know how many there were. So, in most cases, most girls are afraid to come forward.
I agree.
But once if a few came out against Cosby, then it was out of the woodwork because he was active for so long.
I'm not a fan of men being Me Too'd either. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I don't think that's right. I think that when there's truth, there's truth. And especially what you just said, Jay, it's so difficult for women as well as a man to come out and have been the shoe on the other foot, to have all these people telling untruths about it. Never mind, your whole life is put out in public when you have to come forward. So a lot of people don't. So I'm not blaming them. But the thing is, it was like a tidal wave all of a sudden once people started coming out about Cosby, right? And the guy's got money. People do stuff like, I'm not saying everybody did, but
there was a lot of them like that. Just like with Trump, when there was all in the beginning, there was almost 30-something women with Trump, and then a lot of them started retracting their statements, and a lot of them did away. And I couldn't believe the lesbian was the one that got the money. I was like, now, I look at Trump and say, okay, I know you're a dog, and I know you're playing women all over the place. But, I looked at this woman and said, she just doesn't look like, I could see if it was somebody else. I don't even doubt he's a dog. I mean, he's
maybe he was playing up the DC Mayor Marion Barry, crack whore, vampire, fantasy thing.
But this chick was, no, I mean, first off, unless you were blind, you could fucking tell she was a lesbian. And, no, Jimmy, I don't care what shit left you a lesbian. I got family members of lesbians. That's not an issue for me. It's but it would be if you're going to hit on somebody, you go have sex with them. She look at you like, yeah, sure, dude. What are you on crack?
And
And
Heidi,
she-
no, it's a different guy. I forget what the Nickelodeon guy's name is that came out.
Harvey? This is what
No,
Heidi was
it
asking
wasn't Harvey
was-
Weinstein. That series came out about all the kids at Nickelodeon. They hired quite a few pedophiles over there that got caught. Mm-hmm.
Okay, folks, I'm tapping out.
Nice.
Sweet, well, thanks for stopping by, sweetie.
Have
Now
a
she's,
good
gonna have, now she's gonna have weird dreams all night.
Have fun in the world down under.
No, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night's sleep.
Good night, sweetie.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Hey,
Actually, that's Kaylin. We just posted her show. Just went up on SoundCloud just a minute ago. Actually,
Oh, you're on SoundCloud now. Good.
while we were talking, I've been posting shows. It's my hand can't sit still when we're doing radio for some reason. Got to be doing something. Yeah, it's got. Yeah, it's
That's
gotta be
another
something.
bad image on my. That's another.
All right, look, you got dirty. You just got a dirty mind, buddy. I don't know what to say about you. What are you talking about, Chris? No, we're talking about Sean. I was talking about Sean had a dirty mind. Who you thought I said had a dirty mind? Laura Lee, of course she does. That's not even anything
Yeah.
new there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
That's Um,
Don't hear me talking about it on air, though.
I know. Michael, who are you talking about? Michelle who? No, that ain't no Michelle I know. I
No.
know who you got the wrong name or something.
I'm glad
Yeah.
Carrie Lynn came tonight because I was talking to her because she's usually working on the weekend, so I was glad she could come tonight.
Oh yeah, when I said about the pussycat, her face just turned purple.
Oh
Yeah,
no, she's no angel. She would laugh.
Oh no, I know she didn't. Oh no, she laughed, but she covered her whole face. She's like, she just didn't expect to hear it. It was the way it came out, It was because Jay walked right into that one, and it was. And she was just when you just see, like, oh shit, I can't believe you just said that.
Believe me,
Oh.
the conservative chicks like that.
Oh,
are the
nobody-
biggest freaks. They're the
No.
biggest freaks, man. Biggest.
No one on this network is
The only
not.
thing I can say about that is you're welcome.
The chicks walk around with the boobies hanging out, not freaks. They just want the attention. The ones who are conservative, freaks all day long.
A lady
Thank you,
on the
That's P.
street
Diddy.
and whatever you want to call, I guess behind the or in the sheets, it's supposed to be.
Ask
Yeah.
P. Diddy, he'll tell you everything.
P.
don't have to
Diddy's
ask
going
him,
to
just
go
look
to
at the
jail
video.
for 100 years.
Just consult
Well,
the
you know
video.
where it is. You can send him a letter.
You know what blows me away about TikTok? All them young girls, all them women dressing up in sleazy outfits. Who are they trying to impress? Is there
That's a
something
lot.
wrong?
Young guys who
I
are
don't have no sleazy girls on my team. What am I missing out on here, man?
When I was in the club business, the women were lining the streets trying to get into that club wearing at least as possible, man.
Wow.
You think they freeze their asses off out there. But, and, a lot of them wearing lingerie, man. A lot of them wearing stuff like that. This was heavy metal, big hair bands. You'd be surprised what shows up for that, man. And we weren't complaining either.
Sure,
I've
Heidi.
never understood the women that have money too, like the Real Housewives or whatever. They all look like alien lizards with plastic stretch faces like this.
Trying to maintain their youth.
Laura Lee, did you
They
hear
probably
there's a new
never
one?
looked like great
There's a
people.
new one. Real Housewives or Real Mormon Housewives.
Yes, yes. I tried to watch it and I just couldn't.
No, you fucking kid. How can you have one real Mormon? You fucking.
He's right. It's not the
It's
Real
on there.
House. It's the
Go watch
Secret
TV,
Lives
you'll
of
see it.
Mormon Wives, I think, and
Yeah.
they've got so much scandal and cheating, and oh my lord, they are beautiful. They called themselves the moms of TikTok. It's probably what you were seeing, Sean. But at the beginning of COVID, and then it's going into the second season.
Oh my God.
Well, if you're like a Mormon, don't they believe in like 7 or 8 marriage? One guy can
No, that's
marry
polygamy, but they're supposed to, you don't drink, you don't smoke, and there's all
Well,
kinds of things with the Mormon.
Mormonism was found in Utah, and Utah I do believe, is a polygamous state.
Yes,
If
you
you
are
live in-
right about that, but I think Mormon. I don't know if you can have. You might be. I'm maybe speaking out of turn, but
If you're
I
in
know.
Utah, yeah.
But I know you can have polygamy in Utah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
They
but
have
they don't do that. They don't do that in
Cody
America
Brown.
anymore. The ones who want to practice polygamy go to Mexico. Mexico has a huge Mormon population, so they go down there and they have multiple wives.
I always say one wife is enough for a guy. Why would you want 3 or 4? story.
About like 9 or 10, man.
It's a
Shit.
stupid story. I'll tell you though, it's hard to get a cup of coffee around Salt Lake City. I tried, man. You know, I mean, there's places, yeah, but like, you know, normally there's a Starbucks in every block. You know, there you really have to look to find something, you know. But they control everything, man. It's a stupid story though. They're fucking the dumbest, one of the dumbest stories I've ever heard in my life.
Have multiple wives, so.
They used to come.
I thought they banned it completely in the United States.
They used to come knocking
Tony
on my
Brown
door.
has a TL sister wives for how long? None of them are together anymore, but they still got.
They used to come knocking on my door, and then I got a hold of these guys, and I was talking shit with them. And then the next year, I saw that I was like at the kitchen sink looking out the window. These guys ran past my house, like they didn't even walk. They ran past the house. I was ready to go out there. Hey, where you going? Aren't you gonna come knock on my door, you little fuckwads, man? You know, I told them it's a stupid story. Joseph Smith, as a teenager, finds tablets of Jesus Christ in upstate New York, by the way, you know, and only he could read them. And then when the townspeople came to want to see them, he said, Jesus came last night and took them away. That's the whole story right there.
Wow.
And then it went from that stupid story to what you see today, the very powerful, unbelievably powerful Mormon church. You know, they got secret underwear that they wear that is supposed to protect their genitals.
Some things I don't need to know.
Plane accident. So I said to the Mormon kid, why don't you make a whole suit out of it? If he's going to protect your genitals. I'm like, do you think your dick is going to live on? You know what I mean? Because if the rest of you was gone, your dick would be gone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you should know the way they were looking at me.
The spirit of your dick lives on. That'll be the next series.
Hey, you know, I believe that shit. You never know.
I'm 6'5". When I answered the door, there was a 6-inch rise, which makes me almost 7 feet tall. So here I am talking to these little fucking dudes.
Maybe that's what all incubi and succubi are. Is like, you know, Mormon genitals that have survived, you know, Mormon combat and come back to wreak revenge on all the non-Mormons.
You're the best, Jay. You're the best.
Oh my god!
It was funny as hell, man.
I need drugs.
Well, the thing is,
Why do you think my camera's off?
Okay, so Heidi says that some, I know Utah, it's legal, I think, for polygamy because I've never watched it, but that sister wives, they had to leave Las Vegas.
Where Mormon.
Polygamy is illegal in the U.S. So, I mean, if they want that lifestyle, they can go, but they don't have to claim them as wives. They like the Muslims when they come here and have many wives, because like in in the northern states, especially where they settled, like, you know, they have extended family, they call it, you know, and then they apply, and they actually apply for benefits. They apply for all kinds of welfare benefits for each wife, each extended, and they have a lot of kids with those wives, and some of the families have 20 or 30. You know, so it's that's what they do. They find a way around the law.
Sean needs to do go have about 30 kids, man.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, you should have about 30 kids.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I do believe I have a kid in Scotland. I do believe that. I remember the girl I was dating over there. She had a nice little baby bump back in 1983.
Oh, it's too bad you can't find out.
No, I really don't want to find out.
Oh, that's
a lot of money.
Could come back and bite you where you don't want it to be bitten.
I keep thinking Ancestry.com.
No, see, that ain't how that works. Yeah, I had a girl one time.
Like, I found you on Ancestry, or come on, man, my DNA's out there. All kinds of people come to me that my father's kids.
What?
My father had
Oh, I said last time some girl tried to sue me for child support, I turned around and sued her for having my child. I said, you were blessed by my child. I said, now, if you didn't, you know. And she looked at me like, what? I was like, yeah, that's how that works. It was a blessing to have the child. No.
I think it should too.
I have, as far as I know, I have no illegitimate children.
I only had two.
No, but think about it though. So what? That's a good question though. What if somebody did come up to you and said that, you know, you had a child with me and, you know, I want child support?
But here's a place. Go take the task. Call me back. I mean, if it was my kid, I wouldn't shirk it off.
That's what I'm saying. If they can prove that it's yours. I mean, could you, like you said, back sue them and say, hey, you kept my child from me. I want, you know, my half of, you know, the kid's life.
I agree that should be both ways.
Yes, I agree with you, Lord. I agree, and that's
Yeah,
another.
if the father doesn't know,
I'm sorry,
and
but
especially if the information was held back from them, it's one thing if they lost touch or whatever. I mean,
A lie of omission is still a lie, even in the courts today.
yeah, but there's statute of limitations that are on that. You'd be hard pressed to be able to sue and get some kind of recovery. I mean, especially if it's later in life. When they're a kid, it's one thing. You know what I mean?
I've often thought about too, and I know it opens a can of worms, but I understand a woman says it's her body, but it takes two people to create a child.
Exactly.
And if the dad wants the baby and she doesn't, and then the dad doesn't have a say so in it, I don't think that's right either.
That's why abortion should be illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You should have a license
I said it.
that to get to be pregnant. I think that would help.
No, but if she's pregnant and she
decides a car, and you can kill with a car. You can't really kill with a baby, but I mean.
No, but I think that, and I've seen situations where the dad, she gets pregnant and she doesn't want the baby, but he really wants the baby, and the dad doesn't have any say in it. Yeah. And I don't think that's right. If there's going to have the child's going to have a good home, and the dad wants to keep the baby, he should be allowed to do it. I think. Heidi agrees with me, anyways.
Especially if the girl is underage, the boy usually doesn't have much say at all, because if the parents are the legal guardian of someone underage to get an abortion, the parents have to sign off on that, and you may not have any choice, even though you and your family may want to keep the child.
I wasn't talking about underage kids, because I've heard.
Well, no, that's one of the best examples is there's usually and a lot of times it's been the boy is usually the family's strict Christian, and they want to keep the child. They don't believe in abortion, and they're like, well, we'll keep the child, but the other family is like, well, we don't believe in childbirth before marriage, so it's going to be aborted. And in that case, you have no grounding. The guardians of the underage child say,
it's so damn complicated. That's what's wrong with this century. This is what's wrong with freaking people. It's all about the freaking money. It's all it's about. Kids are for money. That's all it is. Money.
I think that if you want your child, it takes two people to create a child. That's all.
I agree with you, and you're right, Laura. You are so right.
Or a test tube. Could be a test tube.
Yeah, but it still takes two people's willing DNA and consent to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what about the men who give their sperm at those sperm banks, and then should they be responsible for all the children that they
No, I think that when you go there and you sign the paperwork, you've agreed that you hold.
Yeah, there was somebody. He's got like 1,100 kids. Something they tried suing him.
Yeah,
well, there was one fertility doctor who.
The doctor, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, and he promised all of his women patients that they would have a child under his care, and they all did, but they weren't their loved one's child. It was his child. It was his DNA that he was infusing into the donated eggs. Mm-hmm. So, and he went up for a long time, I think, and he probably lost his ass in money too. They probably sued the living shit out of him.
Well, that's not right either. That's deceptive.
Well, also, even though they didn't actually have sex, Lorelai, in the courts in America, that's considered statutory rape. It's a sexual assault, and that he went down for that.
When you have your baby, the alien baby, you're gonna have to go to the intergalactic court and then try to sue, get a paternity suit going. If your other doesn't want to pay up, man, you know what I mean?
No, same thing. Same thing with this fake Me Too stuff that I see against guys, and they're instantly ruined without even the leg to stand on. And I know I'm a girl, but I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. I don't think it's right.
Well, that's what got Weinstein was that movement. That's the
the movement came out as a result of him, I do believe. But what Lorelai is saying is, I agree with her. No one really speaks about the Amber Turd problem. She cried wolf, saying she was being abused by Johnny Depp. When in reality, as the court rolled through, we found out that she was the one abusing him.
I'm going to throw
this shitting on his bed. I mean, I'm going
to throw this out there for all of you.
She was abusing him mentally and emotionally and verbally. So, I mean,
I'm going to throw this out there for all of you.
I would be too.
In the world of looks, if Epstein was a good-looking man, and I mean a good-looking man, do you think the same thing would have happened to him?
Maybe.
think he would have been a predator either way. Yeah, because once you do that
No,
with
but
power
what
and you realize you
happened
can take
to
advantage
him?
of someone, yeah, he would.
Well, but look at the guy that shot that CEO in the city. He's a really good looking guy, and there's a lot of support. If he was an ugly fucker like Epstein, people would want to put him under the jail already. There's a weird thing in the world with looks and
Yeah, but
and
I
how
think
people
with
favor him.
Mangione too is a lot of people were standing up for him because of what he did. Nobody's saying vigilantism is right, but a lot of people were in the situation where a loved one died because they didn't have, because of what happened with their insurance, right?
A lot more people have gotten fucked over by an insurance company than.
Meanwhile, the guy that pulled the
realize.
trigger earned money from his family, who owns a slew of these old folks' homes, and they're getting sued for all kinds of abuse. You know what I mean? So it's, and he went to live in Hawaii and had a great life, and then he gets into his head to go after CEOs. You know, I mean, a CEO is a temporary type of thing. They're not even decision makers, honestly. And if you want to deliver a blow, that ain't the way to do it. You know what I mean? But it did make other CEOs nervous. It did. Some of them went into hiding. They didn't know what was going to come down. You know, but in this world, good looks are favored. We know that. You know, look at Joe Montaldo. Look how far he's gotten. You know what I mean? Just on looks alone. He danced right through the Navy, went down the equator, did all that stuff, man.
I did get kissed by pretty boys, so you know.
He's got to want to marry him and shower him with money and not even give it up. Not even give it up. Get some lobster.
I was so hurt when he said he wouldn't come
Get
on
some
the show.
lobster without offering up the roll.
Who said they wouldn't come on the show? Who said?
I said he said he wouldn't come on the show. I was hurt.
Who said that?
Your boy who kissed me. I was like, you know, you can't come on my show, man. You know,
I told you, if all you could do is just give me the number. He's married now. I'll tell him there's nothing else. He's a Canadian.
Oh Lord, not another Canadian. Damn, I can't take it no more. I'm moving to France.
With human beings,
it's the network of Canadian Sean's.
No,
I'm moving to France.
He's a hot guy. He's a hot guy. That's why I
one
said
constant with human beings is their own inadequacy.
Trying to be kissing on me, man. Go kissing somebody else.
If someone's insecure, that's going to drive them to.
I think he was just drunk and horny. That's all. But you know.
Oh, I think he likes men.
Who's that, Lord?
Michael.
I'm not going to tell a secret. Joe's going to tell.
Anyway, ladies, I'm sorry, we were having a totally side conversation about something.
When I get him to say the name every now and then over there, I've been here 6 years in July, and they'll go, "How the heck do you get me to talk about this on air?"
Top secret. This top secret. It just happens. You know, LA's a weird place. What can I tell you? It's weird out there.
That's why it's called Holly Weird.
You know, but I got to say, when I go out there for Writers of the Future, they seem to be pretty tame, nice people. Other than getting high, you can't walk through LA without getting fucking stoned out of your gourd. I mean, we staying at the Lowe's. Well, we were there the first couple of times, like when I flew down for Prometheus to do that filming, I was staying at the Wyndham by the airport, and I didn't realize it, but when you would walk past the breezeway, it was like, because all the people who worked in the hotel were in the little breezeway smoking weed.
You got it lucky. The last time I stayed in LA, they put me up in the Home Depot.
Oh wow.
That's a joke. The hotel he's staying at is the Lowe's. It's a family of.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's LOUEWS.
That one didn't work, Jay. That one.
So yeah,
in the industry to know that one.
So now last time, time before last, when we were staying at the Lowe's, we're gonna leave. So I'm with Larry Elmore, he's the guy who draws all the dragons for Dungeons and Dragons. I'm with Tom Wood and a couple other winners and a couple other famous people, and there was two other famous authors with us. But anyway, so we're walking down. We leave the Lowe's Hotel. We go to the street. We make a turn going down to headed to Hollywood Boulevard. So there's crowds of people all over, like playing musician, handing out CDs, shit like that. But everybody's token, everybody. So you're walking through a crowd. I mean, you're literally getting stoned. I mean, it's just weed. You can't breathe without smelling weed. It's just, and not just smelling. I mean, you can tell. I mean, I smoked enough to know I was getting high. And so we get to the end of the corner. We hit Hollywood Boulevard. There's like 50 people there. Everybody's just token up. Everybody's got their own joint. It's just like a puff cloud everywhere. I'm like, fuck. So it's another 2 blocks to Arthur Services. We get there. All 10 of us are so fucking high. We're lucky we could feel our asses afterwards. And I don't know what they put in that California weed, but son of a bitch, man. And I still remember because a couple of these guys had never smoked before. So they're all like, so wait, hold on. They got some of the best sausage they sell out on the street out there by them vendors. It's freaking fabulous. And for them, I said, "You're gonna eat that?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat that." I said, "It smells fabulous."
Street hot dogs are good, man.
No, these were some kind of sausage, but they were good. I don't care what they were. Somebody said,
Hot dog is a sausage.
Yeah, well, that's true. He said maybe it's cat. I don't care if it's cat, dog, whatever it is fabulous.
I don't
So
know
now
when
when I got there,
those vendor carts, no matter where you go, right? They're outside. They do.
yeah,
taste
and they got them on a flat grill, so they're grilling them while you're there. So like in New Orleans, they have Lucky Dogs, which is freaking hot dogs about yay long. They're like $10, but they're not a bad hot dog, you know. It's just
$10 for a hot dog. Fuck. No.
yeah, that's on Bourbon Street, man. Look, let me tell you what, when you've been in Bourbon a couple of hours, you don't give a shit how much anything. You just want to eat something.
I wanted to ask you, Joe, speaking of New Orleans and news, what's with those 11 inmates that broke out?
Well, first off, it's only 10.
Okay.
They fucked up. It did.
10, 11, 6 on one hand, one another.
10 or 11.
They caught one, so that was 9. Last I heard, maybe they were headed towards Florida.
How does that many get out?
They don't know. They were missing in the morning. They left.
To the toilet.
Wait, yeah, they didn't rip it off somebody.
Love it.
Somebody unhooked the toilet so they could get it off, and they went in between the walls.
Naughty Heidi.
And,
Naughty. Very naughty.
I thought it was good. Daddy,
I didn't say it wasn't good. I just said it was naughty.
So,
And good.
yeah, but somebody had to cooperate with them.
Bad girl. Yeah, it was a weird thing. So they're out and about. The cops down here are real assholes, so they'll try to find them. Hopefully they don't take 90 because they pass it right by my house. And I will shoot. And if you are a criminal, listen, I will shoot you. So just keep that in mind. If you come knocking on my door, kicking my door, and I will shoot you, especially if it's middle of the night. I'll just shoot you, not even think about it. That's it. And then I'll turn on light after I'm like 6 or 7 your asses are dead.
What if it's an Avon lady, man? You gonna shoot her dead, Joe?
I don't care. She has a
You're
gun.
just trying to
So you come walking in my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, your ass is dead.
Well,
I've actually even warned my stepkids and my
a
son.
vacuum cleaner or some steak knives, man.
I said they got keys to my house. I said don't walk.
Joe's
in my
got a pile of dead salesmen on his.
You damn right, and no, I don't. I feed them to my gators. Man, you don't know nothing about living this. So you feed them to the gators, man.
Well, maybe get the stuff for free.
They dissolve bone and everything. Yeah.
Somebody told me, they sent me today too, that the Annabelle doll is in New Orleans, and there's been all kinds of crazy stuff. They sent me an article on it. They said some things.
I have my own theory on Annabelle. It's just a freaking doll.
Yeah.
You don't even go there if it being.
Oh, I'm in debt again.
No, you are in debt again.
You're in trouble, girl. I'm telling you what.
No, somebody sent it to me and said, "Can you guys do a show on this?" And it was New Orleans, so I thought, "Oh, I'll bring that up tonight then," because
Annabelle, no, that's just a doll. That the Warrens, they just decided to, let's go to this house. They got Annabelle doll, and then they wrote a book about it, made a movie about it. Now everybody in America and all over the world thinks Annabelle, the haunted doll, is possessed by a demon. Bullshit.
Demon.
Telling you,
I know it's not because Lola's in the house. I can't be possessed by a demon.
No,
I just seen her a minute ago.
I'll find it for you. Somebody's, like I said, this was a viewer request. That's why I asked.
Oh.
So,
Stephen, what I do a reading? What kind of reading? You mean a tarot reading? You can't afford.
You can't afford.
I'm expensive, dude. I'm expensive
for it. Joe charges lots for them.
I'm expensive. I rarely do them anymore because I'm really good, but I don't really. Maybe some close friends. Well, first off, all my cards. I've only got 2 decks I use, and honestly, but you never buy your own deck. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't know that, your deck has to be gifted to you.
This was a gift.
And I got the cat cards, which were used for so many spells back in the day, helping people out and doing crazy stuff. God knows how many people's blood's on it. And anyway, no telling what's on those cards. And they have a tendency to always show the worst of anybody's. It just, you read them and you're like, wow, if you get a good reading from them, life is going to be like fucking fabulously fucking good. It's, but.
Where did you get those cards again? I remember you talking about them. You got them from somebody.
They were a gift. Yes, they were a gift. Yes.
No, it's not in Detroit. I'm sorry, it's Llewellyn, and they sent it to us. We interviewed the person who did this deck. That's her,
Oh,
It was
I
very
like
nice.
that. I do. You did show that. I didn't know it was from Llewellyn. I'm sorry, Jake, because that's
Yes.
really cool.
I think I might have said it was from Inner Traditions, but I was wrong. But in any event, and I don't know how to use these, and I haven't read the book. It's a cool thing.
And
The artwork's really nice. It's modern characters, MGM monsters. You know, the creature in the
Yeah,
back
have
of the
to
moon.
send me the link, Jay, to it because I might get a deck of those. That's pretty cool. But Joe, you got your card specially from somewhere, didn't you?
Trick or treat.
yes, well, they're all decks are special. Whoever gives them to you. Now, I do have a deck that has famous people's great grandchildren's blood on them,
Oh my god.
and that's an Aleister Crowley deck, though.
Oh.
It's actually no. I'm sorry. It's a tarot deck. I apologize. It isn't a Crowley deck. It's a tarot deck, and which isn't all that much different, but it's just a tarot deck.
I have a McDonald's tarot deck, man. They used to give them out in their Happy Meals. You know, you had to kind of.
Are you serious, Mike?
No,
Are you serious?
No, he's going crack. Man. Crack.
Serious.
I have a
When
peanut.
Ronald McDonald is
How did I
upside
miss
down.
that with McDonald's? You got me.
No.
Instead of pentacles, they're French
That's
fries.
Michael.
So when he has like,
And they
you
got
get
the
12
hamburger.
12 French fries. That's some
Grimace.
serious stuff right there.
Okay, I found the deck, Jay.
Can't forget Grimace either. Remember Grimace? You know,
Oh, I sent you a Google
He's
search.
the best
several different
McDonald's
prices.
character going.
he
Grimace.
had a Hamburglar. He had a Grimace. The whole gang was like evil. I mean,
Matter of fact, is it in here
a
somewhere?
Grimace is the face you make when you die. Grimace.
Yep. No, I remember Joe talking about his deck and his readings before. You used to talk
Yes,
about it on our paranormal panel. And I
Yeah,
Well,
remember-
I like my
but
Flintstones vitamins, man. You can't go wrong with Flintstones vitamins. I still actually eat them.
Hey, Eugenio, good to see you, buddy.
Do you know the dinosaur?
Hi, Eugenio.
Technically, I'm not
Vegas.
allowed to publicly read anymore.
The aliens are all out in Vegas. You got any pictures? Got to send some.
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Are there ice agents chasing them, or what kind of aliens are we talking about? What are we talking about here?
Well, technically, if they came from another solar system and landed on the White House front lawn or south lawn, yes, ICE would have to arrest them.
They got to go back.
They entered the country illegally.
They can go into Elon's rocket and shoot them right back up
Baby
into
mama,
space.
the alien baby of the show is there with you. He says all kinds of aliens.
Yeah, alien love. Okay, let me.
The probing.
Sorry, I had to change that.
As we
gene.
That's how
said
Jay
earlier
got
in the
his
show,
ball.
the probing has resolved itself.
Yes.
And
That's
it's already
good.
spliced off into 2 or 3 other different things. Here's one of the other ones it turned into. I mean, it's ongoing.
Does that turn blue?
Oh,
What?
just,
The Diabetes baby? No. I mean, he's just blue on the bottom.
I just have him. Well, actually, I have lots, but
No, they're all over the place. There's probably one up there somewhere.
You
Yeah.
horn dog. You horn dog.
My girl does it. Diane does this. She buys them and puts them on my desk and shit. And I mean, this one's mine. This is Anakin Skywalker.
Nope, there you go. That's another 25, Jay.
No.
That's
Yours is the other
adorable.
show. You didn't mention Star Wars. You didn't say
that's
anything about Star
adorable,
Wars.
isn't it, Jay?
It's
They're-
it's adorable. It's Disney
yeah,
adorable.
I recognized it. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Joe, you got the popcorn, buddy?
I'll bet nobody recognizes this. My shirt's
What the hell
purple
is
too.
that?
So.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Oh,
that's
the raisin guy, huh?
raisin guy.
California raisins. Thank you,
I said
Joe.
that. Yeah, I
California
knew it was.
raisin.
Mhm.
Take me a
He's
minute
driving
to
the Mercedes
recognize him.
Here on my desk. Let me put him back in the driver's seat. There you go, buddy.
hair flipping dancers.
Yes.
Oh, now we got to see this.
Oh no, yeah, blow this up.
Hair
I
flipping.
thought they were supposed to be
Yeah.
also naked, weren't they? Someone
No,
told me they were naked.
no, they weren't. No,
Are
they
these
weren't.
Arabian rockers or what? With the hair
No, they're the
flipping?
women. They're women that usually
Well,
wear
women
the
can be rockers
headscarf.
with hair.
Well,
The thing with the hair is just creepy, weird. It looks like something off one of them
Not
Exorcist
if you know what
movies.
Shariah
Looks like
Law
from
says.
the
You can't do this
ring.
in a
I
country
don't
with Shariah
care. I'm
Law.
telling you, it looks like they're fucking possessed.
They
It's
look
like-
like they're from the ring.
It's weirding me out, man.
They're in white with the long.
I think
black
Trump was
hair.
weirded out too. Look at his face, man. He's kind of
Because
like,
it's weird, man. I'm telling you what.
He gave them a clap. Oh, that is creepy, Joe.
It's
But
weird.
You guys know about Sharia law, right? That's why they're doing this, to show that, look, we can show our hair and we're not being raped.
Actually, you are right about that because normally they have their hair covered, don't they?
In a country, in an Arabic country with Sharia law in place, they would have to have all of that and their ankles and their wrists covered. And only their eyes can show in most cases. In the extreme cases, only this can show.
Sleep tight, ladies.
That's all you get to see.
Don't let these weirdo chickies with the weird hair get you.
well, you know, women really don't have rights at all. And,
I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better.
Oh, Heidi, I hope you feel better. Sending you some healing. Have a good night's sleep, hun.
Good night, Heidi.
Look at Trump's like, whoa, let me out of here. It's like some kind of possession thing.
Which way do I get out of
He
here?
looks like he's sick. I noticed in the last week. Like, so he must have some kind of cold or something, but he looks really tired.
The greatest New Year's ever. Nothing. We've never seen anything like it.
No, he does. He looks sick. When I seen him in the last couple of interviews this week.
Well, you probably the kind of food they have there. Ugh, all those spice. I mean, Moroccan food is yummy, but it burns through you. It really, I mean, it burns coming and going.
Well, you got to imagine if you were walking through that, right? Like to keep a straight face and be respectful, that would be hard. So I give him brownie points for that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, boy,
Trump is a deal maker. He's always a deal maker.
This is also part of that work. That's that woman who's his head of staff at the White House. She helped him do this. She helped him flip it around.
He may go down as the greatest president in history. Wouldn't that be weird?
Were you going to say something, Sean?
No, I'm good.
I thought you did. Okay, sorry.
I'm tired.
I see that. You look tired.
I am.
Friday's a long day, Bird, but
yeah, it is.
A long day.
It starts early. It's a long freaking day.
It starts early and then it ends early. That's the other thing. It's early the next day. It's almost as early as you can get.
I got a brand new 3D printer, so I got to figure out how to work that. So I might do that after this. We'll see.
Start with 1D at a time.
1D?
Yeah,
Yeah,
1D, then 2Ds, then 3Ds, then you'll have it.
No, I got one this kid. I had to hack it, and it's still not working properly. So I got a Mother's Day deal, and I bought a brand new one. So
I had to show you guys this. I'm actually talking to the guy about buying this from him.
Oh yeah,
I would be more impressed with a hearse.
You know what?
I
want to make like a stealth camper. This thing has all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
I mean, he barely wants anything. Even his price.
$5,000.
No, he gave me his best price. It's a lot lower than that.
Yeah.
But look at this thing.
Does it have the gurney?
All-wheel drive. It's diesel, which is amazing.
I was just going to ask you, is it diesel? Okay, so
does it have the gurney? Yes or no?
I mean, it's got. This thing costs over $100,000 when they made it.
Yeah, when they first knew. Yeah.
But I just think it's like the coolest thing I've ever seen, and I'm like, am I really buying this? I was going to buy another car, a totally different thing, and then here's this damn ambulance, and I'm like, wow, man.
Hey, dude, my best friend from high school is a retired fireman, and he has an imitation firehouse that he inherited from another fireman. So if you need a gurney or a bed for the thing that comes out of it, I can probably get you one.
Look at you, Lord, with the pole.
Yes,
the pole,
fire station he went to had a pole, and yes, I went down it a couple of times too.
That reminds me of Ghostbusters. Do you remember the first place they had was a fire station with the pole?
Yeah.
I've been down a fire pole more than once.
Yeah.
I bet I'm not. Oh man, Joe.
I know, man. I know, dude. I'm thinking same thing.
While I was a kid, I grew up around firemen, dude.
Mike has abused him too much.
Take as many dirty jokes as you want. I grew up around firemen and in firehouses.
Hey, we didn't say nothing about dirty jokes, did we?
Nothing about being dirty joke. No.
I know, man. He's got guilty conscience, don't you? Oh man, it's bad.
Yeah.
About this one?
I'm a bit guilty, man. I've driven fire engines.
How about this one? Army Black Hawk helicopter causes 2 terrifying near misses with airlines. So just like the other one. And then apparently they're on the scenic route. Remember we talked about that they're at the wrong altitude and the whole bit. The scenic route So this needs to be examined more, because those 67 people didn't need to die, and it's DC. It's a beautiful city, man. You think that they are going to have an altitude of 200 or 400?
DC is a very nice looking city, but it's also a very low city. I mean, over DC proper, the tallest building is the Washington Monument, and it's 555 feet. So no building can have more than 10 stories. There are a few buildings that have an 11-story, but it's usually an equipment room where, like, the gears and the engines for the elevators are, and that's like the top of the shaft, and that's it. Nothing.
The airport there is too tight. The landing is too tight. They all agree. They all agree, but they don't know
how big the city is. I mean, New York is 3 times that size.
Yeah, and New York is tight. Believe it or not,
New York is tight. Yeah, it is. And you have 5 boroughs, and there's 4 sections in DC: Northeast, Southeast, and North and Southeast, Southwest.
Newark is pretty tight, also, man.
Okay, everybody, I'm going
not
to bed.
as bad as.
You're good, John. Thanks for hanging out, baby. Get some rest.
I will.
Have a good night.
I'll see you all tomorrow night.
Yeah, think about you.
Have a good night's sleep.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't you think that's weird, Michael, though, that they had that happen already, and then now 2 more near misses? Like, that's...
Well, but they also
some crashed today. Didn't
the rules. They lowered the ceiling, and then they also made it so that they had to give proper like extra warning calls, like across all channels on the radio.
But didn't the small plane crash today? Fall into? Yeah, I remember. Wait, I actually remember hearing 2. One that fell out of an airport, and then one that crashed outside of an airport, tore up everything, and the guy somehow mysteriously walked out of it.
Wow.
And walked to an airport.
You can walk away from is a good.
I'd be buying a lottery.
Whether it's a crash landing or a regular landing, if you walk away from it, that's a good landing.
I would be buying a lottery ticket if I walked away from that, especially in a small plane.
Yeah, I mean,
want to hear something screwed up? Every time I fill up my Jeep with gas, I buy a lottery ticket because it's only like a freaking $1 or $2, whatever.
Yeah, $2.
Powerball ticket, right? Do you know I got every number 1 number off?
Oh, that sucks.
If it was 17,
I always tell people,
I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean every number. But
that's exactly how it happens for me. My girlfriend buys me scratch-offs all the time, and I tell people all the time, if you buy a scratch-off or you buy a Mega Millions or whatever lottery tickets you buy, no matter how much you spend per week, each dollar you spend on those numbers, you have a much better chance, statistically speaking, of being hit by lightning than you do of winning any of those tickets.
But you can't get hit by lightning if you don't try, right? If you don't buy a ticket, you can't win. So
I've been hit by lightning. I've been hit by lightning at least 2 or 3 times. Once, like indirectly, twice in my car. And the first one was a direct hit. Bam! It hit my car.
It can happen, but if you don't buy a ticket, how do you?
I didn't buy a ticket for lightning, and it happened. I've never won a lottery.
I hand them $40.
I cannot believe that happened.
I buy a 3 Musketeers bar, and I say, give me a quick pick Powerball. That's it. But 1 number off. I mean, what are the chances?
I don't understand. I've been hit by lightning. Why haven't I won the lottery yet? I mean, I've had my chance on that. Give me a lottery chance. I mean, all I win is like another ticket.
How often do you buy a ticket? Because you said
I don't. My girlfriend does it for me. Then I scratch them off, and then she goes and cashes them in and brings
That's
more.
the problem. You got to put your magic juju on it and get the right one.
That's right.
I'm experimenting. I've been talking about this on my show. I've been experimenting with remote viewing and strengthening my ability.
Were you trying that?
I'm going to go to the local casino and I'm going to see what I feel, how I feel about machines, how I feel about games. If I see something in my head, I'm just going to kind of test the waters. I'm not even a gambler. I know how to gamble, but I'm not a gambler at all. And I just want to test the waters, and I'm making.
I've done that before in one or two polls. Walk up to it, you feel something, so you just go with it. And never paid it. Doesn't matter. You go to it, sit at it, put your dollar in or whatever, and it hits like $1,000, $2,000.
I'm a dice guy. I like dice. I even collect them. This is like a giant set of dice. The best odds in any, like most gambling houses, are the dice games, the craps and those kind of things. And sometimes they have them as a dice under a cup game, but the one they give you a choice of 5 dice, you pick 2, and then you throw them, and whatever number you throw, you got to throw it again to win money. it's
I think if you're
easy
playing
and
blackjack,
odds. It's even better than 21 or blackjack odds.
but I
which
think
is
if you're
second
playing
best
blackjack,
odds in the
if you
gaming
use
sector.
remote viewing, you're going to get a sense of what cards are coming out. I had an uncle that was a card counter, and he was a brilliant scientist, and he gave it up to be a card counter, you know, and he actually got kicked out of Monte Carlo and places
It's
like
not
that.
illegal. If you can
But
keep
he already
the
made his
cards in
money
your
by
head,
the time
that is
he
not
got kicked out of
illegal.
everywhere. It is illegal, actually.
It's not.
And
If
they,
you can keep, no, it's not.
man.
If you
You
use
go
a
in
device,
there,
if you use a device, that's
even
illegal.
though it's your
But if you
ability,
keep track of them
even
up
though
here
it's
in
your
your head, it's not
ability,
illegal.
if they think that you're card counting, they will kick you out of there, man. Sometimes even arrest
So
you.
you both-
Joe, ask Joe. He's a casino guy. He knows.
You actually are both right. So technically, it's not illegal, but if the casino knows your card count, you're out.
It's a casino. It's a casino rule, if you will.
And now where it becomes illegal is if you're using some type of phone or machine to help. Then it becomes illegal.
Well, in the days before, I know a little bit about the card games. Before like cell phones and the internet and all whatnot, they would use you've seen those guys that like at the movie theater. As you come by, they take your ticket. They go. They have a little clicker that counts how many people have gone through, so they know. Oh, that theater's got its max 68. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
That theater's closed, right? There were guys that would do that. They would go, and they're trying to count all the high cards. You know, there's an ace click, there's an ace click, there's an ace click. That kind of device is definitely illegal. But if you can do it up here, and if they can figure you out, how can they prove it? But you can say, whatever. I'm just playing the odds.
If you play certain ways, they'll say your card count for you, and then you have to prove that you weren't, which you can't. That's what it comes down to. They can't prove you actually were, but you can't prove that you weren't.
Yeah, they can't prove that your card.
It's all up here. I mean, once you use the
They
device,
have
up here, they can
rooms.
prove it.
They have rooms of security agents watching your every move. If they think that you're
Everybody
playing
has a camera on them
they
at
think
every
that you're
table.
playing
Yeah.
something. They used to sell these devices online that you go to a slot machine and it had like lights and whatever. It was a really weird looking thing, and you put it in there, and it's supposed to like make the machine hit. And then they banned those devices. If you got caught with one, it was a huge deal that you're trying to cheat the casino, cheat the machines and whatever. But with me, I would like to have a bunch of people all at the same time, like learn the remote viewing and then go to the casino and then see what comes up. Everybody armed with $100 and see what comes up.
There's a device out there. There's a guy, Ryan Montgomery. He's billed as the world's #1 ethical hacker, and he does quick reels on Facebook and TikTok showing you how to stay safe as a consumer. And he brought up this little device. You can buy it on Amazon. It's called a Flipper. You would not believe what you can hack with that thing, and you do not have to be a hacker. I wonder what made me think of it, Mike, when you're talking about that is I wonder if it would work on the casino because you can do it remotely too. Like they'd never know. It's just this little tiny device. It can hack anything, any password, bank accounts, you name it. And
they're going to show up at your house tomorrow. They're going to be.
I won't have one.
They're going to be taking you away tomorrow. Like, I know we heard what you said about cheating our casino.
Well, Mike, you brought up a pretty good point about the one-armed bandits. A long time ago, they probably still do it, but there used to be like certain patterns that they paid off every so many pulls, and there would be people like sharks that would watch the dens where the one-armed bandits are, and they'd always have a token or a quarter, whatever they were operated with, whether it was a nickel, dime, quarter, a house token, what have you. And so the casinos had to avoid people stealing other people's wins. They made some rules. The person who's sitting at that machine got whatever the winnings were, or the person whose hand was on the handle. So depending on what happened, these people would duck in there at the last second. Now these people they thought they lost, they're walking away. They'd sit down real quick or grab the handle real quick. So when the money comes out, they go, "Oh, it was me. I pulled the handle."
Yeah, but in remote viewing, you're using your ability. You're not really. It's not mechanical.
They weren't really using remote viewing, but they sure as you're viewing. They were watching and counting the machines.
And I think that viewing is kind of a weird word because I think that some people are auditory, some people are visual, some people are kinesthetic. So that feeling is going to come, that vision or whatever is going to come through that way. Where however you're strongest.
Well, Eugenio asked a good question. Could there be psychics working at casinos looking for card counting in your mind? Working as a psychic. And many of my friends are. That's not something that I guess there could be somebody with an ability that could do.
You know what? But I think the casinos have so much energy going on between the lights and the sounds and the people and the action, it would be very hard to read a situation.
Like most psychics
Well, no,
don't
I
go
don't-
inside
I don't-
somebody's mind to read it. is
Casinos
what I'm
in
trying to
Vegas have
say.
been around a long time. I think
But it's a
I
good
think they have
question.
psychics. I think they're just good at reading people. They know the signs.
They look for
they've
patterns.
seen-
They
They've
look
been
for
watching
patterns.
people play these games for so many years, and they've passed these on to the new.
Or they start saying, "Why are you winning
that
so
they know
much?
how to look. for
Why
people
why
that
is
may
this
be cheating."
person winning so much?" You know what I mean?
But I think it's a good question that he asked.
With
because
Donald Trump,
I
that's
think
all.
you don't go inside people's minds to
Yeah.
read them. Remote viewing, you might have a
I mean,
better chance
it's
to be able
possible,
to
but
see something.
I'll bet you in most cases, most casinos don't have a psychic on hand. I'll bet you most of them have just a really good security staff that has
I
learned
agree.
tricks of the trade from. This started in the 30s and 40s with Bugsy Malone.
Mhm.
Las Vegas did.
I
So-
just thought it was a good question because a lot of people misunderstand or wonder, like, you get these. You remember
Bugsy
from
Siegel.
movies that the
Ben-
fortune
Ben
teller
Siegel.
with the ball going, "I can see inside your mind." I can. People
Ben
go,
Siegel, man, that was his vision. That the Tropicana, that was his whole thing, and he had the vision for Vegas. They killed him for it eventually because
his whole idea. And
Plus,
Oasis
over,
in the desert,
plus
yeah.
his woman was ripping him off blind, taking millions literally and stashing the money away. But terrible story. But yeah, man,
It's not really. I mean, I have this really incredible game that's based on all of that stuff. It's called Family Business, and each player picks a mafia gang, like the Capone mob, the Green mob, Purple gang. There's one called the Bank Robbers, which has Jesse James and those guys in it. And
Right.
you each have that many cards, and you put the other players, the mob members, into the hit list, which is they give you a little brick fold out, a little brick, they kill you against a brick wall. So you put all the characters on the brick wall, and at certain points of the game, you play a card that kills everybody on the wall, like Valentine's Day Massacre. It's a fun game. It's
It sounds like it's fun.
Oh yeah, it's called Family Business. You can get it anywhere, Amazon, what have you. Very fun.
Joe sounds like he went to sleep on us.
No, he's
Right,
multitasking once again.
that's a bit dramatic. It's that's actually getting wrong, but
time to go anyway.
Yeah, it's time to go. It's
it's
1:10.
it's time to wrap it up. It's past my wee bed at time now. So let me come back where I can actually see y'all.
It was fun tonight. It's always fun. I'm so glad that you guys let me join you. Thank you.
Yeah, we got Carrie Lynn popped in. That was awesome.
Did we scare Leah off or something?
I don't know.
She left a long time ago, man. She kind of came in and gone,
Hmm.
here and gone.
No, I said to Carrie Lynn, come hang out. You can hold your own with these boys. They'll be nice. And I said they're always nice, and we talk about so many different things. Like
Yeah,
this-
if you notice, I took most of the barbs. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but she's a host on a network, so she's always welcome to come hang out with us. I tell it to a lot of the hosts. I think a lot of them are just scared. I know one of them told me a while back, well, I don't mind hanging with the wrestling, but you worry me. I might get fired. I said,
These
"No, you won't
strapping
get."
good looks. They're afraid they'll get outshined. I mean, yeah, okay, it's shiny, but I mean, it's my head. What can I do about it?
Yeah.
Well, same as when you pop into people's shows, people get freaked out too, Joe.
Yeah, well, somebody the other day said, well, and everybody that's
No,
on
I don't think that's true though. I mean, sometimes me and Jeff, we get stuck when our guests leave early, or they don't show up at all. We're like, he pops in, we're like, oh, thank God, Joe, pop in, come on.
Yeah, but you
like,
guys have been
"Bail us
around
out,
for a
buddy."
while. All of us, we've all been around for a long time, but it's newer hosts, right? So and they don't get to know you like we did, Joe, because you used to produce us, right?
Yeah, plus we don't do panels, so
Mhm.
the panels were always a good way to get to know everybody too. Because
Mhm.
it allowed for everybody to speak their point of view and get in a little trouble
even
here and
Bradley
there.
popped in the other night. Remember, I said join us, and Carrie Lynn said no,
No,
don't.
no, sure. It's like don't let him up here. We'll never get to
No,
talk
we'll
again.
break out into a food discussion.
It's,
Don't let him in.
Yeah.
Carrie Lynn's good. Yeah, she's doing good. I mean, her shows are doing good. So
I just loved her the first time I met her, because I was helping produce when she first joined, and I went, I think we're going to be friends, and we are. She's so much fun, and she's such a sweet person.
Yeah,
she
she's
really,
pretty
really
cool.
is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is. So
okay, that's on there. All right, well, guys and girls, I hope y'all enjoyed listening to the show tonight. We're getting ready to get out of here because we got things we got to do. And why did my camera go off?
like sleep.
Oh, there it goes. All right. No, if I hit this thing over here, my foot, it goes off. But anyway, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get out of here. Everybody here needs to go to bed. it's late for all these other people. It's early. It's what, like 1 a.m. their time. It's only 10 o'clock for me, so it's not a big deal.
Me
But
too.
anyway, we're gonna get out of here. I hope everybody really did enjoy the show. Any moments, growing bitches,
How is it 10 o'clock? It's
not. It's 12:11. I'm just fucking with you.
It's 1:11 here. 1:11 a.m. right now.
Michael's like, where the fuck is he at? Wait, I know where he lives. That ain't right. So
well, you're in California. If you're on
if you're out on the West Coast, then it would be right. Where somebody got a couple of hosts out there now.
Washington.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, girls, and like I said, any
Mexico.
moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, right to
Tijuana.
Michelle DeRoche, courtesy Michael Angley. Okay, just like that, directed to Michelle DeRoche, courtesy Michael Angley. Yeah, and then put whatever you're gonna.
And she'll put your name in a coffin box, and then you'll get. Then she'll respond at some point.
Yeah, she'll pick
30 days to
that are really bad and throw them away, and only get the good ones. So.
And lately we've been really busy, so don't expect it like that.
Pick that
And if
name
it's
out of the
stupid,
coffin box.
yes. And if it's stupid, don't ever expect that. I think. Oh no, you know what? I haven't seen her lesbian lover lately. No, I haven't. No, I don't. I haven't. I think she finally got it through her head that Michelle don't swing monkey trees like that.
Oh no, Michelle doesn't. No,
it's What do you mean? How do I know? What do you
Michelle
mean?
always does good shows, man. They're actually very different and interesting. I find.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and I'm glad you said that. So the Gray Zone will be going up for pay for listen pretty soon, probably this weekend.
Okay.
And then don't forget tomorrow, people, the Arthur's Quill. Anybody want to stop by? They're going to be giving away some. They're going to be giving away some videos, some posters and stuff tomorrow on Arthur's Quill, shipped directly out of Writers of the Future. And then we'll have Orson Scott Card on. So stop on by. Everybody wants to get in, hang out. James Jessen, the show is 4:00 Central Time. Yes, and then the chat is 6:00 Central Time. Technically, it never starts then, but we're trying to get it closer and closer. Either that, or I'm going to have to move Michael back an hour, or move the show back an hour, one or the other. But we're not worried about that right now. On that note, we got to go. People, stop bugging me.
Like a whore.
Tell your mom and dad, give them a hug, give your children a hug, give your mom and dad a hug. Hey man, it's tough for me because I got to go from one show to the other.
Canadian
style.
No way.
Brooklyn, it's
I'm not talking to these people. Anyway, guys and girls, see y'all tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. We love y'all. Be sure to come check out Michael and Jay and
Yep.